What's good, family? What's good?
What's up, fam?
Hey, y'all. Can y'all hear me?
What's going on? What's going on? TSF Entertainment Podcast. Fans, members, family, friends. I am back with the family, Retro CG and Really BTV.
What's
And
up,
we
y'all?
are almost to the closing. This is episode 9, Snow, P Valley.
What's that noise?
It's probably me. Let me turn on my do not disturb. I got my iMessage set up on my.
Oh, okay.
on Mac,
I thought
too.
it was my. I thought it was me. I was making sure it wasn't me.
Nah, it's me. Yo, what's up, y'all? We are almost at the end of the road, and I'm kind of disappointed about us being at the end of the road. Seems like these 9 episodes have went by so fast. I'm not
Listen,
ready
last
for it
night
to
when
be
I was
over.
looking, I said we on episode 9. Like I
They
felt like I missed a
breezing.
week or something.
They've been breezing through these episodes, man.
Yeah,
and even
man.
and look, we even missed a week, and I still feel like it went too fast.
Listen, I'm not ready for it to be over yet. I'm not ready.
Either.
I'm not ready to say goodbye to the Pynk. Me and Crystal, me and Really BTV, we have a good time every Saturday night at the Pynk. I'm not ready yet.
Throwing them ones.
What's good, St. Paul? Thank you for pulling up. Good evening. Good evening.
The rest of the gang, I'll be in here a little bit. Everybody's kind of running behind schedule today. Sorry, guys. Well, first thoughts of the episode. What y'all think?
I got my red cup on this one.
Well, I'm gonna do my retro CG on this one. I predicted a lot of what we saw. I predicted a lot of it.
Yeah, I mean,
what's good,
when I was
Jonathan?
watching it, I was just like, "Oh wow!" Like, "Oh, this is a lot of what we talked about off the live."
Mm-hmm. But you know what? Once we start watching, I think we've been doing this since Power. You know, we start following the writing more so than the episode itself. We really start seeing what direction the writers are trying to go in with the characters because we get left with a lot of question marks a lot of times. So we try to look ahead and see what they're trying to show us in that moment because a lot of times they show us things that don't really make sense in that moment, but they're nuggets, they're little Easter eggs, nuances that takes us to the point where we can predict what's going to happen. I like this episode. It was a lot going on. It was really a lot going on, but not necessarily in a negative way. I kind of liked it. A few surprises, a lot of things that we did predict, but there was also a lot of things that kind of, threw a little monkey wrench in there. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to jump into it. Let's get into it. The episode starts off with Andre. He's doing a commercial for his campaign with the ladies from the Pynk. And don't take this the wrong way because I think all the girls are talented. I think all the girls are good, but this is kind of like the rejects. These are kind of like the girls that don't necessarily get all the attention. They're not the Mississippis. They're not the.
This was the ones that Big L put in the broom line.
No, these ain't the sweepers. These ain't the sweepers. I mean, they got
them ain't the sweepers.
They make the sweepers. They got good pole work, but they ain't Mercedes. They ain't Autumn Night. Well, Autumn Night should have been a sweeper, but they're not the headliners. They're not the roulettes. They're not the whispers. They're just the girls that work the club. So you got Brazil.
They the bottle girls.
the bottle girls.
No, because it's Brazil, Jupiter, and Toy is in the commercial, and so
see the fact that you know all of their names, that lets you know how much you be down at the Pynk.
He be at the Pynk.
He know all their names, first name basis. They be like, "Retro, what's up?"
Are you implying that I'm taking a dance from all of these girls?
I'm just saying.
If you didn't in that famous line, you are in charge of the girls.
I'm in charge of the girls.
You on a first name basis with them. It seemed like, you know what I'm saying.
You gotta know who the girls are. You gotta know who the girls are. I guess what I'm trying to figure out this is interesting. This is an interesting turn of events.
What's good, Xavier?
What's up, Xavier? We was hoping that you would be here tonight because me and King Retro, we talked offline. We had a lot of things we wanted to talk about, and we were hoping that you would be here to give us a little bit of insight. Welcome in, Miss Honey. How you doing?
What's good, Miss Honey?
Hey, Miss Honey.
Hey, y'all. How y'all doing?
All right.
Good.
We doing all right. What about you?
Pretty good. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. I need to turn you guys up.
So, what were your thoughts on the episode?
I'm ready for us to just move forward, to season 3. It was good. It was very old school, season 1. Um P Valley, so I like that. Yeah, it was it was more, yeah.
So going back to the first scene with Andre and his commercial, I think I see what direction they were trying to go with this. I guess since he was kind of lower in the polls, he's trying to appeal to a different demographic. He's trying to appeal to the audience that's least likely or expected to come out and vote. So I think it's a good marketing strategy.
Yeah.
And I think that he is pretty much. I guess what I'm confused about is I wouldn't feel like Uncle Clifford would have been comfortable with the club or the girls from the club endorsing him. But we know that this was all Autumn's doing because she made the phone call last episode to line the girls up and everything. But I expected to see Uncle Clifford kind of upset about that they were endorsing him since he's pro casino and Uncle Clifford is not. It was just unusual to see that he wasn't upset about that. So we're outside, and he's kind of like out on the streets, at the polls, and just kind of working the crowds. And who do we see pull up on a flatbed is Pastor Woodbine.
Oh, Woodbine.
Patrice the Dragon Woodbine.
I need y'all to do something with Miss Woodbine. I need y'all to do something with Pastor Woodbine.
You're a trip, man.
And her poll work is terrible. Terrible. She did not inherit, Mercedes did not inherit her poll work from her mama. Her poll work was terrible.
Oh.
She was terrible.
Man, listen, that right there just kind of tell, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like I couldn't give her my vote, man. Like, she's funny, but at the same time, it's just like, damn, you trying to basically, if you see this man got twerkers and everybody's pushing, and then you come up on a flatbed and you got the dollar gun, you got the money guns and everything. It's like, are you really? Really?
I mean, I don't mean no harm, but after that, ain't either one of them getting my vote. I'm just gonna.
I mean, really? You supposed to be a woman, a guy? You on the back of that joint? You on the back of that joint? You got a whole
Working for Jesus.
Oh man!
Is she trying to pull the pole up out of the trunk?
I thought it was electricity running through that mom.
But look,
oh my god, man!
I don't know how much of it is the writing for the character or the actress herself. We all do not like Pastor Woodbine, but she gives us great moments of comedy. Even it's not even intended. It's not even intended for comedic relief. It's just that when she's on the scene, you're guaranteed to get some kind of laugh because she's gonna own her.
We're not supposed to like her, so she's doing a good job because we ain't. She's not.
We supposed to hate our guts, but it's like, I don't like you.
I'm entertained when she's on camera. I'm entertained she's on camera. I can't stand her. Can't stand the sight of her. Don't like her character per se, but she's entertainment. She's good entertainment. That's what she needs to do. Go on the road, do Queens of Comedy or something, because this whole church thing and marriage thing.
When she pulled out them gold money guns, I was done and got to talking about how they tried to pay her to drop out and start, man, shooting the money in the crowd. I'm like, oh my god.
That right there was a mess.
And she did that bending over backwards when she squatted down and cracked her legs.
I thought she was gonna break her back. I thought she was gonna break her back. I'm like, man, y'all better go get this lady before she hurt herself.
She fall off that damn truck.
Okay.
She hit her head or something. I don't know what to say about Pastor Woodbine. She's doing the most. And it's very obvious that she's not going to go down without a fight. Even if she loses the race, I think she's still going to present herself as a nuisance and a problem with trying to get this casino thing up and going. Right, Xavier. She does. So next we have Grandma Ernestine. We finally get to see her at the hospital. You know, we've had questions about her status. She doesn't seem to look like she's declining health wise, but she's continuing to be in this COVID-induced hysteria.
Right.
And the nurse is trying to give her some water, and she starts hallucinating again, thinking that it's her daughter Beulah, and she pulls the lady's mask off to try to recognize her or whatever. I don't know how much of this was Grandma Ernestine hallucinating, or did the nurse actually call her mama, and that kind of made her, look at her as her daughter. How did y'all feel about that scene?
I feel about that. The way I feel about that scene, I feel like they should have started this a little earlier in the season, because I feel as though something happened between her and her daughter that we're not going to get in this this episode that's going to end the season. I just feel like we got a story that's going to be incomplete, because for her to be, hallucinating, and it's involving her daughter all the time. I want to know what happened. Like, did they fall out? Did they have a great relationship? What happened? What happened? Because it's like it's lacking the rest of the storyline to me.
That was actually a good point, and I didn't think of it from that point of view. But what I was gonna say was, at least from where I'm sitting, it's clear that that grandma ain't going nowhere, because she's fighting too hard to stay. Whatever that phone call was that Uncle Clifford got, it wasn't to tell her that she dead. It was probably to tell her that we had to incubate her, or we had to sedate
her. Yep.
Yeah, because she, I don't think it was to say that she's dead. Because there's certain things that he might have to sign for, or they need to just let him know what's going on. But she was fighting because she was hallucinating that her daughter was like, "Come on, mama, let's go." And she was like, "No, I'm not ready to go. I'm not ready to go." So I feel like that was them letting us, that was their way of saying, okay, she ain't going nowhere. But I do think that's a good point you bring up, Juggernaut, that there's a story there that we don't have. But again, it's a great setup for season 3.
That's what I was getting ready to say. And I think that's what they're giving us, because we've had three cameo appearances of Beulah. So I think they're setting us up for season 3, where we're going to get a little backstory between those character interactions between her and Uncle Clifford and Beulah. So I'm not ready for Grandma Ernestine to go. Most importantly, I'm not ready for Loretta Devine to go.
Yeah.
She, even though she has a small role, and it's not typically the roles that we're used to seeing her in per se, because usually she's the lead actress or lead character most of the time. So she's kind of like a recurring cast on this particular series, which is fine, because her character, she's played Grandma Ernestine so well that even as a recurring character, she's more talked about than some of the main characters. So I think that they can explore a lot more with Grandma Ernestine. I'm just not ready for her to go yet. Let her get one more season in before we see her goodbye. Uncle Clifford and Little Murda are continuing this fantasy of playing house, and that they're a happy couple in a normal life. And they're having fun, and they're not putting each other out before breakfast each morning. So
that's a good way of putting it.
They're not putting each other out before breakfast, I'll tell you that. I really don't know where to think about the direction that they're going with this, because it's like me and King Retro were talking offline today. We keep seeing the same elements of their character arc. We keep seeing it's not progressing at this point. We keep seeing them having this same recurring thing where they are continuing to build a relationship that neither one of them know that they can't have publicly. Right. And we keep seeing the same things over and over again. Like, at this point, we need to see where this is going to take us, because it's sneaking and creeping in the dark. They've been doing that since season 1. So we're not seeing anything transpiring between them that's moving the story forward with how they're going to interact in the future. So, what are your thoughts about that, guys?
I kind of to touch bases on what you said. I kind of agree with what you said, with what you're saying. I don't think personally that they're going to be able to keep up this secret. You know, it's like Clifford doesn't mind having it out, but at the same time, Clifford is like, "Hey, so
He don't want
what?"
to be my little secret. He don't want to
Right.
be my little secret, but he knows that he has to be my little secret. So,
What you want to do? You know, like I do this, but at the same time, it's like.
oh.
Oh, I thought that was me. Okay.
I thought it was me too. Going back to you last week, Miss Honey, I know you feeling some type of way about Uncle Clifford. I mean, you all in your bag about Uncle Clifford. I'm actually starting to share some of those thoughts with you. I did not like Uncle Clifford's behavior in this episode. We're gonna get into it, but I'm starting to see some of those things that you were mentioning in some of your reviews about your issues with the character of Clifford. I do feel like the writing is kind of curving a little bit. We're not completely detouring from Uncle Clifford from season one, but the elements of Uncle Clifford, the strength and the way that he kind of took control of things, even when they were in despair, we're not seeing that version of this Uncle Clifford. He's a little bit irrational. He's a little bit emotional, and with good reason to be, but he's not tapping into his inner strength. And I guess I'm bothered by that because the Uncle Clifford that we've seen has been kind of a support system to all the girls. You know, he's been a source of comfort. He's been a source of advice, wisdom, safe keeping for all of the girls. And to see that he's not tapping into those rules that he defines for everyone else and applying them to his own situation, I'm getting frustrated with that. I'm tired of him. You know, COVID is COVID. And I guess in real life, you know, I think back on what those times were like and how we were interacting with each other as a society when people felt when COVID first hit. Yes, it was scary. It was very scary because it was something that was unknown. It was something that we had never experienced before. But to blame someone for giving you COVID, to make someone feel like, you know, they're the scum of the earth because they had COVID, is no freaking different than having a cold or a flu. There's nothing that you can do to prevent you from getting COVID. It's like nothing you can do to prevent you from getting a common cold or the flu. But the interaction to have with someone that you don't know for certain gave your grandmother COVID, we're going to get into it when we get to that scene. But Miss Honey,
Okay.
you're right. You're 100% right. I'm in my bag about Uncle Clifford.
Okay, well, we're gonna be on opposite ends of that conversation, but we'll get there.
We'll talk or argue.
which is makes it Sunday for us. So
right, we're gonna do something.
If you really be into it, it'll just be Sunday.
And how she acting right now, because she moving a little sideways right now.
What I miss, CG?
I was just talking about Miss Honey. I was agreeing with Miss Honey's character analysis of Uncle Clifford this season versus season one. And I'm starting to see a lot of the difference in the breakdown of the character. And I don't know if it's the way they're writing the character for this season or if it's how it's being portrayed by the actor.
See, I feel like I owe Nico Anon a apology, right? Because I realized after seeing this episode, it's predominantly the writing.
Gotta be.
Because those moments that he has, that moment with Keyshawn,
it's season one, Uncle Clifford.
You can see that the quality in his acting. You can see the emotion in his acting, right? And then for the most part, he's been written in this really, really, for me, clownish way. You know, just all of this and the you know, even when your man just had a major melee He's in the back. He's giving you energy he's never
point,
given
Jay.
you before. He's
Yeah, I was gonna say
angry. He's kicking stuff over all of that, and you're just like, okay, well, you'll have to take Diamond with you, and I'm gonna miss his caramel chocolatey goodness, but yeah, you'll have to take Diamond with you as security. I'm just like, what is this? What's going on here? Like, what are you doing, Clifford? I just don't see it for him in the little murder character, and honestly, I'm willing to lose grandmother Ernestine if
Mm-mm.
it will push that Clifford character to a place where we can get to know him. We don't know Clifford, okay? We
he
don't
even
know
pushed
Clifford.
he
We
even
don't
pushed
know
away the fact
Clifford.
of
We don't know nothing about Clifford.
he even
True.
pushed away the fact during breakfast the fact of Lil Murda taking him on tour with him. He said he didn't want to go.
Well, he actually said that because Clifford was having one of his moments where he's in the reality of what his potential situation could be, not what his
Right.
current situation is. He's 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 foreshadowing, or he's pretty much anticipating that he's going to be left all alone, that Grandma Ernestine is going to die, so he doesn't have faith that she's going to pull through. He's pretty much come to the realization that you and I are not meant for the outside, that I'm going to always forever be alone. And so because of that, he's kind of wallowing in a little self-pity. And I'm not
Right.
saying that he's not justified with some of the things that he's upset about and going through. I get that part. I guess one of the things I'm frustrated is the only person that we see that's really trying to be there for Uncle Clifford is Little Murda.
Yeah.
But
I
Little
agree.
Murda can't be there for him the way that he probably needs to. But we're going to talk about that because I do also feel like there's other people that are down for Uncle Clifford, but Uncle Clifford is not letting them help him.
Okay, let's just take the scene between him and Mercedes.
Let's go there.
Okay, when Mercedes goes off and she runs outside and he goes out behind her, um and he picks up her bag and says Uncle Clifford's rule number ta ta ta, and she's
Yeah,
like,
that she ran
when did
out.
the
She
guy
ran out.
find about your
Yeah.
rule? And he's just like, oh, and she says, I need you to tell me the truth. I need to hear the truth from you. Is Keyshawn better than me? Right? Okay. And then when he tells her about the castle, it's a great line. The way he drops it though in this moment, it was this weird kind of way where I was just like, oh, it doesn't land, it doesn't hit for me. It just there are no moments with Clifford that I can say in this season have been impactful and have given me some insight into him at all. And I think it's because he's being written in this way where he really seems more like the mascot than a major lead for me. That's just my opinion.
But it's funny you should say that because that's exactly what his role has kind of been reduced to in the club. As we don't see equal management style between. Now I will give Autumn this. She seems to be running the club more efficiently than Uncle Clifford has in the past. Uncle Clifford is kind of pretty much governed the club by his rules, but we've never really seen the business acumen side of Uncle Clifford. We see more of that with Autumn character, which I was hoping that we could see them. It would have been nice for us to see on camera Uncle Clifford come up with the idea for Pussy Land. He said that he did, but we don't see Uncle, and then his management of the money in the club and everything. It just seems like
He's just a former shell of himself, like from season one. He's just not that strong figure at all. I mean, he's just a series of outfit changes at this point for
I'm
me.
going to respond to that when we get to that scene. Right now, I want to kind of talk about the scene between Autumn and Keyshawn in the Mercedes room. And of course, by now, everyone knows that Autumn is living in the Mercedes room. And, they have a conversation, which I didn't think that it was a good idea for them to have the conversation at the club, especially when they were not necessarily in a private area that someone couldn't be in the background listening to what they were talking about. Um, I'm
I
gonna,
think it's bugged.
yeah, or
I think
not
the room
even
is bugged.
not even that, because you see that Uncle Clifford and Big L was watching her on the camera, in previous episodes. So, I just think that was a conversation that they should have had offline, outside of the club or whatever the case may be. But, for them to sit there and both talk about their plans on leaving after tonight, just gave an opportunity for someone to overhear those plans and usurp them, which we know that Big Bone is going to do that. Full Body is definitely going to do that. But I was trying to question Autumn's intentions initially, why she wanted to kind of reach out and help Keyshawn. And I guess I've copped it up to the fact that, she's a survivor of domestic abuse as well. And she wants to be a source of strength for Keyshawn to make that decision, to make that jump, to get out of an abusive situation. And it's very unique to see that Autumn is her savior right now. Autumn is trying to come to her rescue. We expected to see that type of response from Uncle Clifford or Mercedes or Gidget or someone like that. So it's very interesting to see. And makes Autumn's character more redeemable. One of those qualities that makes her character redeemable. She has idiosyncrasies about her that we don't like. And then she has those idiosyncrasies about her that we do like. And we do like the fact that she does come to their aid. It's no different than her going to bail Mercedes out of the jail when the rest of the girls didn't want to because of the money. So Autumn does have good qualities about herself, even though she has selfish intentions right now. She does have redeemable qualities about her that shows that she does care about the preservation of others and not just herself.
I think the Autumn character, it was a mistake to write her as a combative for Uncle Clifford. All the things that Autumn is doing, Uncle Clifford could help her.
I agree.
And to me, it would be a more fulfilling storyline as it pertains to the Pynk. Because Uncle Clifford used to keep the baby. Y'all remember when Keyshawn used to go up and it was her set? Uncle Clifford would keep the baby.
Yeah,
Okay. And he knew all about that baby. And he also, to Xavier's point, he also mothered the girls and he was holding the baby the whole time, rocking the baby.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. He also kept up with Big L and Big L's health and what was going on with Big L. Clifford was a different person. And for her to try to pull off getting Keyshawn out of the situation that she is in without Clifford, to me, is a detriment to Keyshawn because she don't know Keyshawn. She don't know Keyshawn. She had the strength to pick up.
And they don't have history.
She does not know if Keyshawn has the strength to pick up and leave. And you sending her out here with 2 kids, and Keyshawn gonna turn around and be right back if she is not strong enough to live without everybody she knows and loves.
Well, I agree with everything you just said, but I also am going to say they've set this up that Derek got to die. Derek got to die.
Good news.
No. But what I mean by that is everything you just said, I agree with. But Keyshawn ain't going nowhere because Derek gonna die.
Oh, good.
Keyshawn ain't going nowhere.
Good.
You know what? I was going to talk about that when we got further on down the line, but I agree with that. I think we're going to have a Murder Night 2.0.
Yeah.
I don't think
Murder
Night 2.0.
I think there's a part of Autumn that wants Keyshawn to get away, but she's got another selfish reason for doing this. Keyshawn represents a large influx of cash. That is her hope, and she's pushing this
to bring more money in because Keyshawn's there.
This night could be huge for them, and Keyshawn would be the one that headlines it, which is why when she saw Keyshawn deferring to Mercedes because of the hierarchy they've always had in the club, she stepped in and said, maybe you should let Keyshawn go up to the top and you rock the bottom. Because she knows that Keyshawn is the one that she wants to put in. I mean, still, she's doing a kind gesture at the same time because it's being fueled by her own selfish agenda. I think it would be a mistake. It's a mistake for her not to have consulted Clifford because Clifford knows Keyshawn.
Yeah. And the thing about it is, which I really would have liked to sing a backstory of Uncle Clifford of how he recruited these girls and how he came about to receiving these girls, because it seems like all of them in some way, form, or fashion came to Uncle Clifford broken. And this was a source of refuge. This was a source of income. And
But
they
he
built
knew
this.
Autumn when he saw her. Remember when he first met her? He picked her chin up. He said, "Mm-hmm."
Yep.
You know, and let her on in to do the amateur night. He knew it when he saw her.
Because he made a comment about her hair, the little bathroom hair dye or cut or something she gave herself. He made a comment about that, like, I know that you need this, because he was even lenient with her, even though he had his rules, even though he knew that she was finessing with that ID. He knew
how
that
you moving Keyshawn in this great way, and you're not talking to Clifford about it. Like, I don't think this whole let's fight thing is, I don't know, it just doesn't work for me.
I'm sorry, Xavier, but it's exactly another murder.
I think as far as another murder night, I think we're gonna see like a Derek versus Diamond 2.0.
That's what I'm saying. It's going to be a repeat.
It's gonna happen at the Pynk.
I think somebody we know and love is going to die, though. I don't think it's going to be just like an enemy. I think one of our beloved characters is going to go.
I think we're going to lose someone.
I think that's going to be the cliffhanger. I don't know if they're going to actually really go, but I definitely think that's the cliffhanger, that somebody's going to be shot and we're not going to know.
I told y'all further at the beginning of the series. I told y'all at the beginning of the season it was going to be a little murder. I told y'all that.
I don't think so. I think little murder.
You mean he shot in this season, and we won't find out who it was into season 3? That's what you're saying, really, B?
Yeah, I think. Okay, so I told y'all last week that I do think there's going to be another murder night, and I think we're going to have a variety of things that's going to be happening that night. I think there's going to be some confrontation over the election, regardless of who wins. There's going to be some sort of showdown between Andre and Patrice. I don't know. I just think there's going to be something. I think we're definitely going to have a Diamond.
Andre and his wife.
Yeah, we're going to definitely have a Diamond white boy Mississippi showdown. We're definitely going to have whatever vengeance that's coming for Mercedes and Haley from Big Body. Because I'm going to tell you what I think that was at the end. I mean, y'all probably agree with me, but I think at the end of that episode, when she was sitting on that motorcycle and she was flipping through those pictures, she was sent there to get information, but she fell in love with Diamond. So she wasn't doing what she was supposed to be doing. And after she Diamond kissed in Mississippi, because that picture with him with the ring, she was sending that picture to somebody. But she had been.
Was that the Montania's ring?
Yeah.
Whoever that organization is.
She what, girl? Why does she have the?
Because in the episode where she was begging for his semen, she mentioned
she saw the ring.
She asked about
it. Picture, he's in that picture with
her
with the ring.
Holding the ring. She's holding the ring.
Yeah, he was asleep. What is he sleep?
He's asleep.
Yeah, he was asleep.
He was asleep.
I was like, what in the gypsy?
She was doing a photo shoot.
She was sending that picture to somebody. Whoever sent her there.
She was about to send the picture, and then she
wasn't about to. She sent it.
So she sent it.
That's what me and King Retro were talking about. Yeah, she sent it.
Yeah, at the end of the episode. But I think she had been sitting on that information because she had got caught up with Diamond.
Correct.
I think she wasn't doing what she was supposed to be doing, but after she saw Diamond kissing Mississippi, it was like, oh, okay, all bets are off. A woman scorned. You know what I'm saying? And they're on their way. Whoever she's sending the proof, you know what I mean? So they're on their way. So that's going to happen. And then, of course, we got this gang war going on with Maine and Lil Murda. Like, all of that is culminating. And I think that's the storm next week. But I agree that somebody gets shot, but I'm not going to say whether they die or not, but I don't think we're going to know until next season. I think that's the cliffhanger for next season, honestly.
Okay, Miss Sharon, I said the same thing. Me and King Retro were talking about this earlier. She messy like that. And there's several different things that they showed us in this episode that indicated. We're going to get to it. So Diamond is in the back.
Why she was trying to go ahead and leave. Because, I mean, if the night isn't over, they're just from what I was thinking, they were just having like a little intermission to break up the whole melee situation.
Yeah,
I think Mercedes is gonna dance. and I think she's gonna kill it, and then she's gonna leave it.
Oh, good point.
Yeah, I think she's gonna dance to Lil Murda's song, and I think she's gonna kill it, and she's gonna leave it on the floor. And I think the words of that song is gonna get Lil Murda in trouble. But I think he's going to jail.
Good point.
Yeah.
So speaking of full body, Diamond is in the back making some wings for Big Body, and Keyshawn comes back, and she was like, "Oh, my bad, I didn't know you were back here." He was like, "Ditto." And then she gets ready to leave, and he's like, stops her. And he's like, "Well, do you want me to fill up your water bottle while you back here?" And she was like, "Yeah." And they giving each other goo eyes or whatever the case may be. And they begin to start to have a conversation. She has the chain on still that he had gave her back in season 1, and she. Sometimes I like it, and sometimes I can't stand it when they speak in metaphors to each other, and instead of just saying what they want to say or saying what's on their mind or whatever, they use these little stories or anecdotes to communicate the message that they're trying to send. But anyway, she tells him about the big bad wolf has thrown away the key, but her hair is long enough now for her to escape, so she's Rapunzel now, I guess.
That's based on the conversation that they had in season 1, though.
Yep.
Yeah. So what he's saying is that you won't let someone help you, and so now she's saying, "I'm ready to let my hair down and let."
That's right.
Yeah.
So full body, she come to the window and she hit the bell, and she's like, she might be thirsty, but I'm hungry. Where my wings at? I'm just a messy hoe, just being messy.
No, that ain't no. She is not being a messy hoe. No,
she is a messy hoe.
No, she's not. No, Because let me tell you something. If I see my man flirting with the woman that I know he had a thing with, after me and him, last week, y'all was all booed up in the DJ booth laughing and shit. Nobody ever seen Uncle Clifford talking about something. I didn't even know Diamond knew how to smile. So it's more than a booty call at this point between the two of them. And I roll up on my man in the back room having a little private giggity conversation. Oh no, I got something to say too. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, hey, she might be thirsty.
All that shit.
But don't forget you was making lunch for me. The fuck?
Thank you, Xavier. Yeah, he was back there making lunch for her. He was back there making lunch for her, but he should have. She is a messy hoe. Okay, what y'all say?
Don't listen to Xavier. You know Xavier's gonna say it. Whatever. She ain't no damn messy. I mean, let me be clear. She is a messy hoe, but in that situation, I ain't mad at her. That's all I'm saying.
If you drinking teacups full of semen, you need to make sure you got him on lock, okay? Because you can't have him out here putting it anywhere, especially if you like the stuff.
I mean, she didn't come out swinging. She didn't come in there cussing him
out.
She better know. Ignorant.
Yeah, she might be thirsty, but I'm hungry.
Yeah, right. She was just like, let me remind you. You were
How is Diamond messy? You mean that Chuck Rose big body is messy? She
the Chuck Rose.
Yeah, first of all of America loves Chuck Rose. Number one. I agree though. Diamond is messy. I agree.
No, he's not.
I agree. He is.
How?
Because she said, "I wouldn't have come back here if I knew you was here," and he said, "Ditto." Okay, basically. And then when she turned to walk out, he said, "You gonna get your water bottle filled?" I was like, And then when everything went on and she went to kiss him, he did lean into it. And then he was like, "Keyshawn." He turns and run. I was like, calm down, Diamond.
Just like she kissed you, nigga.
Right. And all the stuff going on, all the folks you need to be hoisting out of there. You see her.
Yeah, y'all got a whole gang fight going on, and y'all.
Yeah, you see
her. That's his job to protect the girls. It's his job.
It's
his job to make sure that the talent is safe, and that includes the girls.
But that includes kissing. That's how you do that.
He leaned in.
Hold on. Let's just since we're gonna go there, let's go there because Big Body did not necessarily get Diamond. This was an organic relationship. She kind of threw herself at him. She seduced him. So it's not like he fell in love with her. It's not like he fell in love with her for the same qualities he fell in love with Keyshawn with.
Wait, whoa.
Seduced him.
It was a slut.
Wait, we are not. Hold on, we are not going to turn Diamond. We are not going to turn Diamond into no 14-year-old adolescent that's being seduced by his 40-year-old, neighbor. That's not what we get ready to do.
Hey,
they are grown. They are both grown.
Xavier made a good point, though.
She threw the pussy and he caught it, and that's what it was.
Xavier made a good point.
What you gonna do? You gonna get up on this thing and you gonna ride?
In reality, though, like you said, really, B, she did throw it. It ain't his fault.
But he caught it.
Xavier.
But he caught it. He didn't have to
catch it.
It wasn't like she baked the apple pie and knew what time.
But like Xavier said, they not boyfriend and girlfriend.
I never said they were boyfriend and girlfriend. I never said that.
But I'm just saying, like, if she threw it, hey, shit, it is what it is.
But Retro trying to make it seem like Diamond was just the more innocent in the corner, minding his business, and how dare she climb on top of the dick? Like
they were.
It was mutual. It was mutual.
She threw herself at him,
and he caught it. He didn't have to catch it.
It was a scheme, though. It was an infiltration.
It was a scheme.
I understand. Listen, I get that part, but what I'm saying is, y'all making it seem like that Diamond is so innocent and he don't know the ways of the world. You know what I'm saying?
14-year-old virgin. No.
Yeah, like come on now.
No, I ain't saying all that.
But the point that I'm trying to convey. The point that I'm trying to convey.
She gave up. She threw the ass to get the information she needed.
The point that I'm trying to convey is that the only reason why she had interest in Diamond to begin with was because she heard all the other girls yapping about him.
Yep.
She wanted to go press up on him to see if she can get what the other girls couldn't. All the rest of the girls knew that he cared about Keyshawn, that he loved.
That don't make her messy.
Diamond is messy.
That don't make her messy. That makes Diamond messy, because if Diamond is messing around with this chick, he should have backed the fuck off of Mississippi, knowing that they had what type of history they have. He should have dead that shit at the door.
Why, dang?
Bruh, are you smoking?
Why?
Are you smoking or are you inhaling?
Why shouldn't he?
Or are they not?
Is he in a relationship with one of them?
Dude, Diamond was minding his own business.
Don't bully. Don't bully JOJ.
This treacherous. Keep in mind the whole purpose that y'all sit here screaming and hollering about that she came to the Pynk for gives her nefarious motives already.
I never said she did. Listen, I think you misunderstand. You're like it's like it has to be all or nothing. What I'm saying is, I'm not saying she's innocent. What I'm saying is Diamond isn't either. That's all I'm saying. One doesn't have to be innocent.
That's her man. That's not her man.
I never said that was her man.
Yes, you did.
No, I said that it's more than a booty call at this point. That's what I said.
Anyway, the next scene.
I said if you want to drink
they're getting ready
in a committed relationship.
They're getting ready, but she's acting like they're in a committed relationship. That's the problem that I have with her behavior.
He's acting like that too. They're at their job and he's kissed. They're all snuggle lumped up. Now he knows better because he was at the peak before she was. Okay. Plus you run around there giving eyes to Mississippi, and she peeping all that too. If you ain't want none, you shouldn't have started none, period. Just like he told her he wasn't going to do that thing with his semen because he wore a condom because he likes to protect his DNA. And what else he say? Protect his DNA and something else. He was very clear about that.
It had something to do with like a spiritual attachment.
Hexes, right? And so you go from this sort of strong entity, I'm not coming back, and he's able to get all the juice out of her.
That's my point right there.
And then he comes back here, and he's just this
she was Mississippi. What are you talking about?
No, Xavier got exactly what I'm saying. Because he's smashing big body, he can't have other playmates. He can't have other playmates.
I missed what Xavier.
But that goes back. Hold on. But that goes back to this whole thing started about. We said Diamond is being messy. It's messy. Yes, you absolutely. They're not in a committed relationship.
The whole situation is messy.
Right. That's what I'm saying. If you're at your job,
because he's messing with a messy person. That's
if you're at your job and you're dating two people at your job, that's fucking messy.
That's messy as shit.
He's not dating Keyshawn.
Especially when you already you know what's up. You know what's up. You know what's
No,
up.
he's not dating Keyshawn. There's a difference with that. And I think he's only dating or interacting with Big Bone because of her attempts to seduce him. She's pretty much manipulating him into this situation.
Manipulate him,
Oh,
grown
wow.
man.
Yes, because he is lovesick over Keyshawn. We've seen that already, because when he was fucking her, he was imagining her to be Keyshawn. So she's a replacement for those feelings that he has for Keyshawn. He don't got no feelings for Big Body.
Diamond knows
He don't care
better.
nothing about her. He don't
That's
care nothing
all.
about her.
That's all
she
we're
is a
saying.
distraction at
Diamond
the
knows
moment.
better.
And the
But you
person
know
that
what,
he
though?
truly cares for, and the person that he truly
but-
wants to be
but
with, is
you
now
know
back
what,
on the
though?
scene. That is going to create conflict with him emotionally.
But-
That is going to put him in a situation where he's torn between two women, one of which he doesn't really want to be with.
But you know what, though? When they first,
But he's not the one that's messy.
But
The
you
chick
know
that's pushing up on him is the one
But
that's
you
messy.
know what, though? With their first encounter, she was the one that made the first sexual advance.
Exactly. She was out there on the motorcycle begging for it. Them other girls in there yapping.
Oh
about
my
what
gosh.
they
Did
do
you
to
say begging for it?
Begging for it.
She was begging for it.
Xavier, you're being messy.
When you throw them sexual
But he
advances
did-
out
but
there,
he
you pretty
did-
much know where it's leading to.
She
But
was
he
begging
didn't have
for
to
it.
do it,
She was
though.
doing
We're
all
not
kind of
talking
innuendos
about-
at him
He
out there.
did
in
no,
the
really
road.
be
no,
saying.
no,
We're not
Jack,
talking
about how
you're right.
long,
Wow.
how long
Jack,
she
you're
been
right.
riding.
We're
not
bikes,
talking
how long
about a
she been
high
thirsty.
schooler.
The misogyny is palpable.
Right?
Jack-
Like,
Jack,
that's the
he
part.
did
That's
That is
right. That part right
crazy.
there. Like,
She's ops.
oh my god.
That
Like,
is crazy.
oh
She's
my
ops.
God.
None
Move
of us
on.
like
He
her.
is-
None of us
Big
like her.
Big Bone is
Retro, that
undercover.
helps.
She run with the
We
people,
don't like her if that
constantly.
helps.
Let's
That's
see.
basically all it is. That he don't like her.
And we said neither. She going against the family.
Xavier talking
She
that
going
talk.
against the family. Look how she moving. Look how she moving. She moving sideways.
Xavier
But,
is
moving.
messy.
I think the point that, the
Xavier
point that
talking that talk, man.
but
He
two
is
things
talking
can
that
be
talk right
true.
now.
But my thing is this.
Exactly.
Two things can be true at the same time, and I just think that's
Xavier's
the part
messy.
that
It
we're
can be.
overlooking. Like everything got to be 100%, and it doesn't. Both of them can be messy at the same time for different reasons.
Okay, so really
I fully believe that Big Body would sit there to gather information, gather intel.
Facts.
Yes, she saw Diamond. She wanted to fuck Diamond. Hell, I want to fuck Diamond. Ain't no problem with that. She got it. It was good. They continued to have sex. They continued to be together, and they were at the job, booed up, all together, kissing in public. When you do stuff like that, you are claiming somebody. That doesn't mean that y'all are right. That doesn't mean that it is exclusive. But you are letting everybody know he is off limits. She is off limits. That is what that is when you do that in public. So what I'm saying is the fact that he sat there under the same roof where he knew the woman that he'd been sleeping with for the last however many weeks was sitting there. He sits there and kisses Mississippi. That's fucking messy. Now I'm done.
She kissed him.
Oh my God!
She
Let's
did.
move on. Let's move on. Let's
She
move
did.
on.
She kissed
Let's
him.
move on.
He didn't-
Let's
he
not
didn't
go down
kiss
this
her.
rabbit hole.
She agreed to
Let me
disagree.
rub your belly. Let me rub your belly, Retro. Nice retro. Kind retro.
Agreed. No, you don't have to rub my belly. I'm just trying to make a point, just like y'all trying to make a point. Agreed to disagree. I feel like he's not messy. Y'all do. Moving on.
Oodles,
Mercedes is on the pole with the rest of the girls. They're trying to practice. They're trying to get themselves together for tonight's show. We still see that Mercedes is trying to come to terms with her trauma, and she's not getting further along in being able to do her pole work. The girls make a comment to the fact that she's not ready. Autumn suggests that she becomes the base for Keyshawn. Mercedes gets offended by that comment. And next thing you know, they're arguing, and there's a whole big conflict between Roulette and Mercedes, who Roulette is completely disrespectful and out of pocket. I'm sure we're going to argue about that too. But in my opinion, I feel like Roulette is disrespectful. She's kind of always been disrespectful towards Mercedes. She's never been a point where she's kind of given Mercedes her credit where due. She's always making little sick comments to her and whatever about her being old and geriatric and all that stuff. And I mean, it's just unnecessary. I mean, I just think Roulette is messy as well. And she's going to bring a lot of trouble to the Pynk. She's selling pussy out of the Pynk. She's robbing people. She's pimping out girls now. I think that Roulette
definitely in the madam class. She definitely in the madam class now because she just picked up on what's her name that Clifford threw out, gave her that money.
Toy.
Yep, gave her that advance. Couture said Mississippi did kiss Diamond, and he kissed her back. That's facts.
What I was gonna say about the roulette character is, she's a typical hurt person, right? So because she was hurt in whatever capacity, we don't know the full story yet. She continues to hurt. She is so chaotic. Like she brings a bit of tension and angst and a little bit of chaos to every scene. Like it's just everything is just really contemptuous with her, and it's the sign of a person that has been deeply, deeply wounded. But you can see that interaction she had with Duffy, where he was like, "Oh, oh, I want to touch it," but she snatched him up. I mean, that's what she needed, was somebody that wasn't going to be frightened by that. That's how she normally runs everybody off and keeps them at bay. But what he did was he just, gave her the calm kitty. Nice kitty. Sweet kitty. I mean, he did it down below, but still, he calmed the kitty. And so I in that moment, she was like putty. She was like jelly. I mean, he could have done whatever he wanted to her in that moment. But outside of that, she walks around with that hard exterior. The way she likes to tear and rip at Mercedes. It's something about Mercedes that it just brings out the claws in her.
Yeah, I think Mercedes want to be respected as the superior of the Pynk because what she's come from in the past in the Pynk. So it's kind of like I'm like the founder. And then you got all these people trickling in, and it's just like, no, you're gonna do what I tell you to, or you're gonna respect me just cause.
And she's beyond her. She's up. Mercedes is unhappy because she knows she should have left, but because of her own choices, she's stuck here.
And at the same time, it's like, they're saying in the chat, like Angelica said, Mercedes was doing that to Haley in season 1, which is true. She gave Haley a ton of shit in season.
I was just about to get ready to say that because Mercedes was doing the same thing in season 1.
So
and she kind of getting
her karma. That's very true, Angelica.
Karma is coming. It could be karma is just coming back around. To bite in our ass.
I think the only difference with that is that I agree that Mercedes was pretty much the in charge of the girls. She had a persona about herself that made her come across as, she had a nose up in the air. So her interaction with some of the girls, like, you do what I say or else. But she's also been the headliner for the club. She's also been the person that has, drawn the crowd in. So to a certain degree, she has seniority. So she's kind of like
the OG.
The OG.
There you go.
The only issue I have with the roulette character is her delivery. She came in with an attitude. She has attitude all over her. Even when Mercedes didn't call her name first when they were at the tryouts, and she called Whisper's name first, she had an attitude about that. So I think they're both the same person, is what it is. They both have all this attitude. They're both dealing with different types of hurt and frustrations, and Mercedes' reasoning for being at the club still isn't necessarily by choice. She's kind of forced to do that because of her circumstance. Her mama ran off with all her money. She got hurt trying to save Autumn or whatever. So, her dance gym ain't coming to fruition. She's got issues with her daughter. So, a lot of the situations is not necessarily because of her actions, but, consequences because of her choices. She chose to let her mama hold that money, knowing that her mama probably wasn't the best person to be holding money for her. So, she's living in a little bit of regret. And at the same time, she's trying to figure out a way to dig herself out of the current situation that she's in. She has a bit of a hissy fit and decides to storm out of the club. She snatches the poster down and tears it up. And, that was a little bit immature for Mercedes to react like that. I mean, what they were saying was right. It's the same thing she told Autumn last season when Autumn was drunk on the pole and, she fell off and whatever. She was
a mess.
on my pole anymore. You're gonna hurt somebody. So I mean, at the end of the day, you have to put the safety of others first instead of your ego.
Right.
And right now, her ego is damaged because she's not that girl anymore, and all these other girls are ascending beyond, her. She's having a hard time dealing with that as well.
I do think that Roulette has solidified herself, in my opinion, for season 3.
Oh yeah,
I'm
Yeah.
interested in seeing a female pimp. I'm interested in seeing, where a lot of this angst and anger comes from. She clearly wants love and affection. I mean, she pushes Duffy away with one hand and pulls him close with the other. So
Literally.
I'm excited to see her in season 3. Fingers crossed.
Uncle Clifford goes out and tries to get control of an emotional Mercedes right now, who's kind of upset and at the same time angry because she can't do what needs to be done and she feels like she's lost her touch. It's very evident that she hasn't lost her touch per se. She still can give the Mercedes experience. What it is she hasn't come to terms with dealing with her feelings and emotions as it relates to that club. That club is the source of her uncomfortableness right now.
Yeah.
Between killing Montavious there and falling off the pole there, until she comes to terms with that and deal with that, she's going to continue to be in this inner turmoil that she's going through as it relates to her performing at that club. We seen that when she was dancing for Farrah and Coach, her shoulder was hurting then, but she got on up that pole and she did what she needed to do. But for some reason, when she's performing from an audience and the spotlight's on her and she knows that she's got to live up to that OG status, all that becomes, a focal point on her mind.
She's performing, though. When she's at the Pynk, she's performing in a place that, one, she expected to leave in her rearview mirror, but two, this horrible thing happened.
Yeah.
And she was the heavy in this moment. There's a lot of really bad feelings she's got tied to the Pynk. This episode, Brandy Evans, for me, she was the MVP. I loved everything about the way she acted as Mercedes in this episode. In this moment, giving Clifford that earnest look, like, I need you to be honest. I need you to tell me. It was a good moment for her. Hearing her do all that on that pole, trying to hold that spot. It sounded like me when I realized I don't sit down the same way I used to when I was 20. And now when I sit down, I'm like, get up. That's how she sounded, And so from that moment on, Mercedes talked at a very normal level. Okay. Talking to Farrah. I love that. I love to see Mercedes in the daylight, in bright light. She's really, really beautiful. And that conversation she had with Lil Murda at the end, very calm, very subdued, very self-assured. Something happened when she met up with Farrah, but you go ahead.
So she gets a text from Farrah inviting her to come to Memphis, which I didn't think that she was going to go. And it was very much to my surprise to see the reason why she called her to Memphis, because I thought she really was going to call her to Memphis to give her that money that she wasn't able to get when
that's
she got
what I thought it was. That's what I thought it was for.
Yeah, I thought she was calling her there to get the money. So we see Big Bone and Keyshawn have their first interaction where they bump into each other, and both of them kind of like, bitch, watch where you going type deal. And
it was so high school.
It was very high school. And that's when we learned that Big Bone has kind of been slipping around the club and overhearing conversations. And I think that she particularly overheard the conversation between Autumn and Keyshawn back at the beginning of the episode, which is why I said what I said earlier about the fact that they shouldn't have been having that conversation there, because I don't necessarily feel like she got that information from Diamond. There was nobody else present in that conversation, and we see in this episode that she's always kind of in the background lurking. So I feel like she's been kind of following Keyshawn around on the low and just kind of seeing what she can find out about her. And so obviously she picked up on the whole move itself. And so when she made that threat to her about, well, good thing tonight's your last night, and she's like, how you know that? That should have set Keyshawn's antennas up right then and there that this bitch know more than she needs to know.
I think she did. It did though.
Right.
Because she was saying it's got ears and it's got mouths. And when she was saying mouths, I took that to mean that she might do the telling, you know what I mean? That she's leaving.
Yeah. Jonathan Xavier, I think somehow, I think at some point Ferry is gonna cut the check on Mercedes for using those pictures at that art gallery, at that art event. I definitely think she's going to get paid from that.
Even though, so in response to this comment right here, nobody told Mercedes to save Haley. She was trying to be super saver hoe and didn't expect the consequences, but wasn't it the right thing to do? I mean, at that point in time, we were pulling for and rooting for the character Haley. I mean, it's just like nobody told Haley to go down there and bail Mercedes out of jail. I mean, it was the right thing to do. So, I mean,
it was such a chaotic moment too. It really could have been any one of them that pulled the trigger. It just happened to be Mercedes because she wasn't going to allow him to just, you know.
But it wasn't just Haley's life that was in danger at that point. It wasn't just Haley's life that was in danger. All of their lives.
I thought Clifford had pulled the trigger.
Boy had broke the bottle up to her neck. So, I mean, she was trying to save her own life just as much as she was trying to save Haley's.
And it wasn't the first girl that Mercedes has fought for at the club. It wasn't the first time she's kept one of the girls from getting hurt by someone.
Yeah, because remember she rolled up on the dude that threw the money on the floor at Keyshawn that, you know, was trying to look down on them or talk down on them about being strippers. So I don't necessarily think that she was trying to be super saver hoe, but that's one of the idiosyncrasies about the character Mercedes. She's just like another Uncle Clifford. You know, she has a certain level of
hard candy shell.
She does, but at the same time, she looks at these girls as her family, her sisters, you know, and maybe even like some of them she probably look at as daughters, you know. So, you know, she gonna make sure these girls are straight because, again, she feels like in her mind she's in charge of the girls, and that, you know, making sure that her team is straight. Now, does she have moments where she comes across a bit of a bitch, and does she come across a little aggressive towards some of the girls? Absolutely, but I think
right, Amir.
I think those intentions in that moment to go in there and see about Haley was nobody else was available to do so. Remember, she went to go try to get Big L. He wasn't around. Diamond wasn't around. So she came up with the idea to go in there with the bottle. So, I mean, I don't think that was necessarily, you know, a bad thing. I think she did what was right, even though it ended up being bad consequences for her. So Mercedes gets down here to this art gallery and she sees all these beautiful pictures of her when she was dancing for Farrah, and Farrah had took those pictures. I do feel like she's due some compensation for that. I really do feel like that. I mean, especially since, because she even made a comment about it when Farrah was taking the pictures. Yo, you had me sign all these NDAs and tell me that I can't take any pictures and post photographs or whatever, but you got me out here in a whole exhibit with my picture.
Hey, let's give it a buck.
I like what Amir Couture is saying in the chat. That's a good point about Mercedes saw her purpose and knew she could do more.
And you know what? That may have been an awakening for her. That may have been a total awakening for her, and maybe even some inspiration to restructure what she's trying to do with the dance gym. Because obviously that's not going to go as planned because the girls' mamas are not able to pay the subscription or don't want to let them come back due to COVID. So now we need to retool this business idea. So maybe maybe this is going to lead into Mercedes giving pole dancing lessons, you know, or maybe it's going to lead into her being able to do something else different with this dance gym that hasn't been built out anyway. Maybe that's going to be something that's going to
choreograph routines. She could do a choreographed dance routines. I mean, even for strippers, she could, you know, consult on movies like shows like P Valley. Like when she sat down in front of that picture of herself, and then just having that conversation with Farrah about how it just came to her to redistribute her weight to her weaker side, because the side that was typically stronger wasn't working for her. And how Farrah just admired her for that ability. It said to Mercedes, you've been sticking and moving all your life. You're just not giving yourself credit for it. Like, you're quite beautiful and quite strong and quite confident. And I admire that in you, right? So it was a good moment. And like I said, from that moment on, we didn't get that same Mercedes. Even in the midst of all the brawling and fighting, she still came across this super cool, calm, collected way. And I just loved it.
I definitely think that I think the Mercedes experience is something new. I think this is going to be the new lick for her because she's come to terms with the fact that I don't need to be dancing right now.
Yeah. Well, and it's not for her anymore. You've done that. You've done that well. If you want to elevate yourself as a dancer and as a mom, as a business person, you're going to have to leave the Pynk or that piece of it of the Pynk. You know, that's like she told Maine. Remember, she said, I'm looking for something different now. When Farrah made that offer to her, she was like, that was just business. That was then. You know what I'm saying? I'm on something different now. A lot of people thought she was going to be with Farrah, you know, but I just think Mercedes is on something else. I'm hoping season 3 will be about the Mercedes experience. And I hope that in turn, because her and Clifford are so close, we get to know who Clifford is. Not Uncle Clifford, but we really get to know Clifford. You know what I mean?
Right.
I want the best for both of those characters. The best for both of those characters.
So we see we're back at the club now, and Nivea is in the back, putting her floss out for the girls for the night. And Autumn comes up and she was like, "This what you gonna put the girls in tonight?" She was like, "No, go get some new stuff." And we see in this moment that she becomes a little bit nauseous, and she goes and throws up. And Whisper walks by and makes a comment like, "Are you ready for twins?" So it's kind of alluding to that Autumn is pregnant.
Yep. When I seen her running that back,
creepy.
When I seen her run into that stall, I said she pregnant. That's all. That was before she started throwing up.
Yep. And so now we're going to have to, and you know what? This is going to really give us a different direction for her character for season 3, because, she keeps talking about how she wants to take the money and go. And she's made so many references to about not unpacking her clothes and keeping them in the trash bag and everything. So now this is going to force her to stay. This is going to force her into a relationship with, not necessarily force her into a relationship, because I think she does want to be in a relationship with Andre, but I think this is going to domesticate her in a way that she's never been domesticated before. So it's going to be interesting to see how her character moves forward in regards to her being pregnant with Andre's kids. How do y'all think that's going to work out?
Man, I ain't never really even thought about that.
I told y'all Andre's going to be mayor and she's going to be first lady.
First lady. Yep. She sure is.
Yeah, Angelica, you absolutely right. Wody did say when somebody died, a child is born. He passed facts.
That was last episode, as a matter of fact.
Had 2 dancers. She's supposed to be having 2 babies, so that's a good point.
That's true.
Yep, that's true.
Well, she can't be a first lady till he get a divorce. So
let's talk about that.
Floor yours.
Let's talk about that, because his wife being mad at what happened, fuck out of here.
I agree.
How she get in the house?
Damn, how she got in the house.
Same way she got into
the
hotel room last season. She just that was a reoccurring thing with her character, I guess, because she popped up.
I just don't think Andre locks the doors, because Haley showed up too. Everybody just be sitting in his house waiting on him.
Yeah, maybe he ain't got no keys yet to the house. He don't lock the doors.
Well, we got another good one. Who else suspected that Corbin gets down? Me. Because that was wild for him to put them clothes back on and have all that blood on his back from them whip marks.
But that's what he was doing before.
Yeah, we've seen that before.
Yeah, he was off the chain, but I was
Mercedes and Keyshawn. When Mercedes and Keyshawn was beating him in the Paradise Room, he came out with blood on the back of his shirt before, which I really don't understand that particular fetish. I mean, I know people got all different types of fetishes or whatever, but I don't see the pleasure that's gained in that, and he seems to be a little bit more on the extreme side of it to pay $250,000 for it.
250,000 bands.
Oh my god!
So
Damn.
there is pain and hurt takes different forms, right? And
Yeah.
it manifests itself, the residual effect of that manifests itself in a lot of different ways. And there is a particular group of people, couple actually, some of them enjoy giving themselves pain, and they do it a myriad of ways, by going into the flesh and doing that over and over again. You find that a lot in teens, models, things like that. And you find a lot of men, especially if they have been degraded by a female or older female in their lives, they tend to punish their own body in a lot of different ways, not just with lashes, but some people hurt their genitalia, things like that.
That's true.
So,
That's true. And I've actually experienced people with that type of when I used to work in behavioral health, we used to have patients that would self-harm themselves, but
yeah.
it wasn't for sexual gratification, or it wasn't for pleasure purposes. It was more so for like a coping, or more so. I guess I'm looking at it from that respect. I'm wondering if how much of this is more of a pleasure thing for him, or how much of this is something that he's been used to. Maybe he was beaten when he was coming up. And maybe
I don't think it's about being beaten. I think it's about the pain. And I think that form of beating gives him the type of pain that he desires. And actually
accustomed to.
Actually, yeah, equally. That's a great point, because actually I changed how I was going to do my review after I was going to do it the regular, like how I normally do it. But after I saw that scene, I realized that what we're seeing here with this season, it's about a myriad of different kinds of spirits that feed on different things. They need different things. For me, I think Autumn has a compelling spirit. She has the ability to compel others to do things that they would not ordinarily do, right? Likewise, I think Corbin has a torment spirit, right?
Exactly.
He always positions himself to be lashed out at, whether it's verbally or physically. He always positions himself to be lashed out at. It's almost like his birth wasn't something that was planned per se. He's always been treated like the nuisance. He's always received that backlash. And I think when he wants to satisfy himself, all he's known is this type of pain of being hurt. And so even when other people aren't doing it, which I think is his preferred choice of pain reception, he does it to himself. When he pulled that shirt off, he already had marks on his back. He's been whipping his own arse. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, it seems like it's at first it just seemed like it was this misplaced scene or something. Like, what does this have to do with anything? But you think about it, the first couple of episodes, it had this spooky aura, right? Remember, there was apparitions showing up here and there.
Yeah.
But we've left away from that. Now we're still seeing those same types of energy, but we're seeing it in our characters. Look at Big L. Look at how Big L did. It's like we don't know these people. It's like they're all possessed in one form or another.
But you know what? It's funny you should say that, though, Miss Honey, because it's with the characters that were involved with the whole Montavious thing.
Or were in that space at that time. Correct. You know what I'm saying? When they was getting rid of the body, all of that stuff. Everybody's kind of tainted a little bit from being in that building. I don't know.
So there's a lot of talk in the comments in regards to
oh Lord,
and
it's messy. Just put it out.
I just read that. I just read that comment.
I don't think that they were necessarily intimately involved. I think that because Katori Hall on her Twitter last week said that Corbin and Uncle Clifford grew up together and they were best friends. So I think that they hold each other's secrets per se, and that includes with the fact that Uncle Clifford is so living out loud, and the fact that he runs a strip club, it makes a safe place for Corbin to experience that fetish or experience that side of him, and he's trusting that, you know, with Uncle Clifford it's a safe experience and he doesn't have to worry about judgment or anything like that.
Uncle Clifford whipped him before. He likes the way Uncle Clifford does it. Uncle Clifford knows what he's doing. He likes the way he does it. And he wasn't being affectionate with Uncle Clifford. It wasn't that. He just said, come on, do what you know you want to do it. Come on and make the money. Yeah. You know, it was like going over and having somebody, you know, change your oil for you. You know, they don't feel like being bothered, but come on, you the only one that changes my oil like I like it.
Oil changing?
It wasn't sexual at all.
I didn't feel like it was sexual either. I didn't get that vibe.
Me
either. Going back to Uncle Clifford, and he's in the back now with the girls. They're getting ready to go out on the floor for the night, and Toy sneezes or coughs, and he comes unglued. Put that girl out of there, threw up out of there, and laid her ass out. I feel like that was too extreme. I think he was too harsh, and I didn't think that he needed to treat that girl like that. She didn't deserve that.
He tossed her up out of there, boy.
He did not deserve that. And part of the reason why she's there and continues to be there is his own fault. Send the bitch for a COVID test. Send her for a COVID test. Hey, Tori, you can't come back to work until you provide a negative test result. Hey, Tori.
So ignorant, too, because he could actually be the one that gave grandmother COVID.
Exactly. I said the same. King Retro, where you at? You gone. I said the same thing when me and him were talking earlier. I said the irony it's cliche for us to think that Toy gave Grandma Ernestine COVID because she's been sneezing and coughing all season. But what if it came from Uncle Clifford? What if it came from?
I don't think he was too hard on her. I don't think he was too hard on her. Honestly, I don't.
I think that he could have handled that situation a little bit better. I think that he reacted out of emotions because he's upset about his grandmother, and he thinks that in his mind, he's already killed her because he responded to her when she asked how was your grandmother doing. She's dead. So in his mind, this is the worst, and it's all because of you. He doesn't even accept the possibility that his grandmother may survive. So in his mind, he's killed her off, and in his mind, it's all because of Toy. Right. And I don't think it's fair to blame her for giving his grandmother COVID when you are part owner of the club, and you should have enough sense to make sure that all the girls, not just Toy, but make sure that all the girls are COVID free, and make sure that when she first started sneezing the first time, you should have sent her ass home and told her not to come back. I mean, that's the responsible thing to do. But to sit here and have a hissy fit with the girl because she continues to sneeze, she's been sneezing all season. You ain't been put her ass out. Why you put her out like that? I didn't like how he reacted like that. He didn't show her no consideration or passion or whatsoever. And I just don't think that Toy has COVID. I don't think she has it.
We definitely need that whole. We definitely need that. It would be cool if they would have did the whole test piece, especially given the fact that when Mercedes went over to the condo, they swabbed her nose and all that other stuff. So for her to come back and it was negative or positive.
And I know that just because you have it, I may transmit it to you, but may not be able to transmit it. So I get that part. That part. Just because you have COVID, that doesn't mean everyone that interacts with you is going to get it from you. So I get that point.
Right.
But the fact that she sneezed in that lady's face the way she did and didn't give her COVID, I mean, again, I think it was unrealistic that that part of the writing I'm having an issue with. I think it's unrealistic that Toy wouldn't have been made to have go get a COVID test by now. And they've been teasing her about it. They've been fussing at her about it the entire season. When is someone going to have enough common sense to tell the girl to go get a COVID test?
I think it was just a bad look in general. I mean, it was a little aggressive. And
I don't think we're gonna see that just yet, Angelica, unless it's gonna end up in season 3. But
yeah, it was a little. She might end up gone, deceased, because she really is just fodder for the season.
And
But,
her character has always been kind of viewed as such. You know, she's always Toy. She's always kind of been like a little background character. Just
she's
hanging
fodder.
around.
So I wouldn't be surprised if she does come back for next season, but she ends up being fallout for what Roulette's got going on.
She's gonna be Ebony. She's gonna be Ebony from Players Club.
Yeah,
but
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it was a good look, and she was scantily clad. Like I was a little taken aback, but I mean, yeah, the girls are much harder on each other. Like some of them fights they had in season 1, and here it was pretty brutal. It gets brutal back there in the stripper room. So
Uncle Clifford, Nivea comes up to Uncle Clifford and lets Uncle Clifford know, you need to see this Instagram post where Lil Murda is announcing to everyone that him and Tina Snow are going to be at the Pynk. I'm like, damn, you not going to even let them know that y'all coming in tonight to perform?
No, pulling up.
Let's show up. We on our way.
I do think he thought he was, he was promoting them, blowing them up. Like he was trying to help his dude out.
Yep. And you see, Lauren was outside fussing about the club being over capacity, and Uncle Clifford pimped out Big L, like we said.
Pimped his ass clean up. I give you Big L.
I give you Big L if you can let us go up to 75%.
He surely was big and good looking though. When I saw them shoulders, I was like, Big L, just big for no reason. Just
oh my god. So Lil Murda and Uncle Clifford are kind of like, in the back having a conversation or whatever. They're kind of like flirting with each other at the same time. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be careful with this because somebody else gonna find y'all out the same way Mississippi found y'all out, because y'all keep doing stuff in public that y'all probably shouldn't be doing in public or whatever. And I thought Tina Snow was gonna pick up on it because Uncle Clifford's reaction to her flirting with him. He kind of got in his feeling, and then he got mad when Nivea came back there and was like, "You got a special guest in the Paradise Room." He's like, well, since when you start waiting on customers? Like, what are we seeing here? Just more of their little banter that's going back and forth.
First off, my baby mama, Meg. Man, boy, I saw that. Oh, okay, all right. Now we talking. Everybody be quiet in the house.
Everybody be quiet in the house.
Man, yeah, I thought they was definitely gonna get caught. I thought somebody was gonna walk in and see something that they shouldn't have saw, and then that's another one of those whole either extortion moments or one of them. Yeah, I know. We're gonna hold this over your head.
So you got Roulette that's showing up, and she dressed down. She don't finesse or boost some clothes from somebody. She dressed down in Versace.
I like Roulette's attitude.
She got the bust down money.
That's right. She did get that
bust down money
for the car. That's right. Okay.
Which reminds me, don't you owe really be some money?
Roulette is supposed to be dead.
No, not yet.
Who owe
not
money?
Yet.
Who owe money?
Not me. Not yet.
Oh, that's Marvin. Marvin, I think you owe money.
I don't owe money yet. Ain't nothing happened to Roulette yet.
No, that wasn't it.
The bet was
nothing was supposed to happen. Ain't nothing happened yet.
I forgot that. What was the damn bet? I forgot.
Nothing was supposed to. Remember, Really B said that situation in the hotel was gonna come back to bite them in the ass. Nothing has happened. The bet was something has to go down.
That's right.
And it hasn't happened yet.
I think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen to Roulette. I think it's going to happen to Toy.
It's going to be more of that melee that Really B was talking about on that. There's going to be a lot of different things popping off.
I'm sorry. Something's going to happen. I just believe that.
Nope, nothing's going to happen.
Okay.
I thought something was going to happen on this episode, especially when shit went down. I thought Buddy was going to walk his ass in the club and it was going to go down, but it didn't happen.
Maybe next episode. It was too
Nope.
much other stuff going on in this episode.
I mean, they wasn't letting them in.
All
But
hell gonna break loose and they ain't gonna have nothing to do with roulette.
Okay.
It was
That
it was too much other
$20. That
stuff.
$20 is right here waiting.
It was
But
too
ain't
much
nothing
other
gonna
stuff
happen.
happening in this episode for it to happen in this episode. If it doesn't happen next week, it could possibly happen in season 3. But I don't think
nobody will remember.
I don't think it's going to happen.
We got 2 Sundays.
No, we got 1.
No, I'm just saying we had 2 Sundays. The bet happened last week.
That's true. I think what's going to end up happening is that in season 3, we're going to see Roulette is running her side business, and whatever the case may be, and she gonna set Toy up for a trick, but the trick is gonna be Terrence. And
I
Terrence
think
is gonna do a
next
junior
Sunday-
on Toy is what's gonna happen.
I think next Sunday is gonna be centered around Mississippi and all her shit.
And Andre and his wife.
And his wife. Which
Yep.
how the hell is she mad about that, man?
I don't understand what she mad about either. I really
He
don't
walked
understand
in.
that.
He walked into you topping off a whole nother man. He walked into his house kissing another woman, and you pissed? Come on, man. Shut up. Stop it.
And he left you. And not only that, how did you feel like there was hopes for this marriage to continue? How did you feel like that there was some hope that there was going to be any type of forgiveness?
Right. How
or
did
there
you
was any
think that was
moving
going to
forward?
happen?
When the man told you that he was getting ready to run for mayor, and you damn near laughed in the man's face, well, you ain't gonna win. What? How did you feel like there was hope for that for y'all?
After he caught you giving that Jordan on.
Yeah,
right. You didn't.
To a man that he already knew that your family wanted you to be with. How did you feel like there was hope for y'all?
Yeah, fuck that.
You should have went. And Andre stupid himself for not even filing the papers. He should have went ahead and filed the
Hey,
papers.
you tripping? Ain't no way. Listen, you kill him. You kill his confidence. He telling you what he want to do. You killing his confidence. That's the first. That's one. But the biggest important part of it is he walk in the house to celebrate some shit with you, tell you, and you topping the man. Oh man, fuck that. With the door open. So it's like he walked into it and saw it before he even opened the door or anything. Man, fuck. I don't give a shit.
Okay, so
it's so good to see you guys passionate. Usually it's me.
So on camera, we have seen where I know I'm probably getting ready to get eviscerated with this, but I'm ready for it.
Jonathan said Andre started to cheat.
That's what I'm getting ready to respond to. That's what I'm getting ready to respond to. On camera, we seen him messing around with Haley. They had phone sex together. They, made out a couple of times. He might have finger popped her in the club or something. I don't know. But how do we not know that the wife and that doctor have been fooling around all along?
Exactly.
We can only go by what they show us. We can't keep adding stories.
I don't think that he was cheating, though, personally.
Wait a minute, you don't
I don't know. Listen.
So wait a minute. So what
Me
he
personally,
I knew I was getting ready to get my ass laid out by this. I knew I was getting ready to get my ass laid out. Come on with it, Billy.
Cheating?
Come on.
I mean, first of all, he did more. I mean, he didn't have sex with Autumn first season, but he was very intimate with Autumn first season.
I don't condone cheating. I don't condone cheating at all. Let's get that clear. The entertainment of it, any of that shit. I don't agree with any cheating at all.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know how you quantify that. That's cheating.
Because she wasn't taking care of a man.
You don't know what she was doing. We don't know what she was doing.
Well, that goes back to what I was saying about we don't know what she was doing. Again, we can only go by what we see. And what we saw was that she was not supportive of her husband's visions and his actions. When she came to
we didn't. We didn't see that.
When she came because she was rushing him to hurry up and come on back to Atlanta. Let's go. Let's get back to Atlanta, or whatever the case may be. So I feel like what we saw in season 1 was a marriage that was already on the downhill
on the dissolving end.
Divorce. We were seeing
it was on the dissolving end.
Exactly.
So Jackie, you're married, right?
Yes.
I do see you go there.
So can your wife go to another town and stay for 6 or 7 months and come home occasionally?
Occasionally.
I'm just asking.
I don't
know. He was out of town for work. He was out of town for work. There was a difference.
Right. She's working. Your wife is working.
Yeah, she's working right on her knees.
That's the thing. I'm just gonna say personally, if that's what her job required,
and her jaws and her mouth was working. Yeah.
If
We're
her
talking about
job-
Joey's wife. We're not talking about.
if her job requires that, then that's one thing, you know what I'm saying? But you got to have that level of trust. But at the same time, like I said, I'm not advocating cheating. I mean, that's the worst kind of shit. You know, if you're going to cheat on somebody, just leave. But I mean, for her to be that mad and, oh, look at this. Come on, man, stop.
I just would like to see them just go ahead. I mean, we can say on both parts. To me, he was just kind of seeming like he was being bummy and aimless this season. And
Agreed.
she just wanted him to sort of pull himself up by his bootstraps. In season 1, he was completely disregarding her. He was so enamored with Haley. So, you know, I think we can all agree
I still don't think that
they
it was
don't need to be
cheating.
together.
Was there physical interaction?
No, but when you take a girl,
listen,
yes, there was physical interaction. There was physical interaction, but it didn't.
Definition of cheating is
result in
entertaining
them having
the
sexual
fucking
intercourse. Were they having an emotional relationship? Yes, they were having an emotional relationship.
Then
yes.
that's cheating.
And that's what
that's
I'm
cheating.
just saying. Listen,
Exactly. That's
everybody
cheating.
this is the thing. Everybody want to have their own own different definition of cheating, which is cool. If that's what your relationship is. Me personally, the moment you start to entertain the bullshit, you're a cheater. Fuck it. That's how I feel.
That's what I'm saying. But for the fact that his wife showed up that night, Haley and him was they was about to straight up have sex. He left to go get condoms.
Like, no, that wasn't that night. That wasn't that night, but yes, that night he was leaving.
Right, but for the fact that his wife showed up, they was about to get it in. Forget the fact that they was flirting and having phone sex. So you mean to tell me it's okay for your wife to have phone sex with another man? You would be cool with that?
Didn't Autumn give him the jerk and pull who gave him the jerk and pull in the portal to hell room? Which one of them rooms?
I don't know who that was. I know they had phone
That's
sex.
what happened the night when the wife showed up. It wasn't a jerk and pull. She was giving him a lap dance. And then he
go off. I'm not tripping over a lap dance. I ain't tripping over the lap dance, but they straight up had phone sex. Like they were masturbating together on the phone. So that's okay for your wife to do that?
I would say no. I would say no.
So
but if I was in a situation where I was getting ready to leave my marriage, if I was in a situation where I was getting ready to leave my marriage, then there's a difference. But if I was fully committed and monogamous to my relationship, then yes, I would consider it cheating. But if I was in a situation where I didn't really care about what was going on at home anymore, and I was on my way out the door anyway, then got a head start.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
he did put his face in places where it didn't belong several times. That day when they went out on their little date to the mounds or whatever, and he took her back to his room. He went to go get condoms. They were going to fuck that day until she saw them pictures of her on his computer. She left. The second time they were going to fuck was that night when she was called him down into the club to say goodbye, and she was unzipping his pants when the wife called and she answered the phone. Yes, those were moments that could have ended up with sexual intercourse, but it did. But I also felt like Andre wasn't really into his marriage at that point anyway. So it just felt like
then leave. They need to go their separate ways.
I'll give you that. I'm not going to argue that point anymore. If you're not happy, with where you're at, take your ass on my business. I agree.
That's what I just said.
Like, I agree.
If you ain't happy, just jet. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with
cheating starts with the thought. Period. That's how
I agree. It's just that we saw that Andre made the first move towards cheating. We don't know how long his wife has been involved with this doctor. So from what we've seen in the story, Andre made the first move towards cheating. But I feel like the wife is not innocent either. So
yes, he did. But I am going to say, if I'm in Andre position, I walk into that. Yes, I'm out here in the street.
Hey, Xavier, don't do that. Don't do that to me, Xavier. I don't want to fight with you. I do not want to fight with you, Xavier. Xavier, let's not go there because you know how I feel about Tasha St. Patrick.
Don't you do it?
No, Xavier, we're not gonna do that.
Don't do it.
We're gonna stay on good terms, Xavier. We're gonna be friends.
Do it.
Xavier is messy. I keep telling y'all that.
No, Xavier, my dude. I ain't gonna fight with him. I'm not gonna fight with him, but he know how I feel about Tasha St. Patrick. We're not gonna go there. We're not gonna go there. but to your point, Xavier, you're right. You're right. For that reason alone, Andre cheated first. There you go. Y'all happy?
Tasha did cheat first. If you want to take it there.
Yeah, she finger popped herself in the back of the truck with
bingo, and all she saw was him do what? Have a conversation with who? Oh, okay.
How long had they been married at that point? Do we know?
I don't know if they've even said how long they've been married, but to me, I got the feels that they were newly married. Haven't been married long.
I think so too, Couture. I think the wife was messing with Buddy ass from the hospital before that.
I think so too. And the only reason why I came to that conclusion was when Andre made the comment about your mama always wanted you to be with him anyway. So I feel like there was always a intimate relationship between him and the wife, and somehow, some way, Andre got in the middle of that. But that's what kind of made me feel like the wife is not necessarily being clean.
At the reality of it is he had way more going on for himself than Andre shit.
Yeah, I mean, he was a doctor. And the fact that her family was more receptive to her being with him versus Andre.
And Andre, yep. And
it made it easy for her to turn to him and cheat with. So we see Whisper is outside consoling Toy. We find out Toy getting ready to lose her house, her lights getting ready to get cut off, her car getting ready to get repossessed. She ain't got no money. What are you dancing for every night?
They ain't been dancing. The Pynk was closed.
Oh yeah, that is right.
Damn, she behind shit. She been behind.
Damn, I feel sorry for Toy. I'm finna cash app her some money.
Right.
I'm finna send her a couple.
Really, me if I win, don't send me that $20. Send it to Toy.
Send it to Toy. That's right. Toy we need to GoFundMe for Toy.
You need to GoFundMe because hell, it take what 3-4 months before they want to come get your car. So she out.
Yeah, she behind bad on her bills. But we see Whisper and Roulette look like they're running this Ronnie and Trixie type thing now, where they're recruiting girls now at the club now to do their little ring, their little prostitution ring that they got going on. Whisper makes a comment because Roulette was kind of cold-hearted to the girl, like, damn bitch, you that far behind on your bills. Oh well.
Right, you damn
money on. She looking like money. She gave her a stack. And she was like, that ain't no loan. Basically that's payment in advance for what you gonna do for me.
Yeah, so, she just shook hands with the devil.
That looked like a lot of work. I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah. How big that stack was, I was like, girl,
there's gonna be a lot of work too.
Stack. I said, shit, what you gotta do?
Yeah, she finna run through Toy.
Yeah, she finna run through her.
Yeah, she finna run through her. We already came to that conclusion, and we already talked about Corbin and his kinky fetish. So I don't feel like we need to talk anymore.
Oh wow, you see what Miss Mom said? Said Wody gonna be burying Toy.
Yep, she gonna be the next one at F&G.
I agree with that. It's probably gonna be season 3 too.
Yep,
I believe you're right, Miss Mom G.
Yeah, she'll be down at F&G. So Autumn comes in and she's Andre's in the one of the VIP areas of the club. He's celebrating with his, I guess, campaign team. Maybe I don't know.
You look like a frat.
Unknown friends that Andre's have. Unseen, unknown friends, but I think it was his campaign team. They were celebrating.
His campaign.
Yeah, and she comes in and gives a round of shots to everybody. And instead of drinking the shot, she throws it over her shoulder. And Andre catches it. So he's so stupid, his antennas didn't even go up. Like, I would have questioned her right then. Like, well,
Xavier,
he did notice it. That's why she gave that explanation
about I wanted to be sober for this moment. Let's go back to when the dudes were out in the parking lot. Diamond pretty much told them, like, listen, I don't want no riffraff from y'all. Why y'all even let these niggas in the club? Y'all already know they're getting ready to come in here and shoot the shit up. Y'all already know they're getting ready to come in here and act the fool. You got 2 rival gangs in here. They got to fight the last time they both were.
You got a 50% capacity.
Man, you should.
I'm about to say money.
I guess so, especially if they charge $60 at the door.
Come on in, everybody was repping their flags. They all had their gang colors on and shit. I'm like, yeah, this ain't gonna end good.
What y'all think about this scene with Duffy and Roulette? It's like you were saying earlier, Miss Honey. She's pushing them away with one hand, but pulling them in closer. Do you think that Duffy is getting ready to be part of her little Ponzi scheme that she got, or do you think they're going to have a relationship? What are we seeing with this development?
I don't know, but it just seems like everybody eventually becomes collateral damage with Roulette because she's so broken herself. I like Duffy's tenacity. It kind of reminds me of the praying mantis. You know, the female is very dangerous. The male mantis has to approach very cautiously, or she'll rip his head off and eat it.
Funny you should say that, because in my mind, when I seen her in the black and red Versace, I thought Black Widow.
Yeah,
and the same thing. You know, the Black Widow eats her prey, so that's what I look at her as, is a Black Widow.
I think she likes Duffy because Duffy isn't running. Everything she's doing to push him away. You know, I'm a hoe. I'm a hoe too. Right. I mean, whatever she says, he counters it because he wants to get with her. It's something about her he likes. You know, he may be one of those people that enjoys, you know, being being in a relationship with a woman that's not,
with an aggressive woman.
With an aggressive woman. He might enjoy that. And at the same time, she likes the fact that he's not leaving her like everybody else is. He doesn't, you know, he finds her beautiful. The things that other people say about her, he considers to be attributes to her.
Duffy can end up being a pusher man, though. He can end up supplying them hoe parties.
That's what I was thinking too. I mean, he got the drugs for it or whatever. That's why I feel like he's going to get sucked into this whole ring. Yeah, I think that we're going to continue to see Roulette pulling licks and tricks.
I want to definitely see more from the couple. I would love to see that. I don't think it was anything we could have got from Gidget. We could have got this from Gidget.
Yeah.
So I'd like us to put a pin in Roulette and Duffy for this season and carry it forward into season 3. I think it will be a good storyline.
So the girls are getting ready to hit the stage. You know, Tina Show, she comes out and she does her performance. Little Murda comes out and do their performance. We see that Mercedes is in the audience and she's kind of admired. To me, it felt like this is the first time that Mercedes actually gives Keyshawn credit for her performance. Like, I think this is the first time that Mercedes really actually paid attention to her and was like, damn, she is good. You know, I feel like she gave her accolades, even though she didn't give them directly to her. She was commenting to Maine, but I think in that moment, she didn't look at Keyshawn as competition, that my little sis is really doing her thing out here. She's
good at it, and she's beautiful at it, and it's art. It is art, you know. I think
going back to what you were saying earlier, when she left that whole Mercedes experience, now she's looking at Mississippi from a totally different perspective.
And dancing. She's looking at the art of dance is more too, I think.
Agreed. So this whole conflict breaks out with the Chi Phi Chi gang and the Hurtville Hustlers, and they fight in the club. Diamond comes in and breaks up the fight and saves Keyshawn, and she kisses him. And, you know, they have a little conversation. Well, she tries to have a little conversation with him, but she runs off. Big Bone is seeing it. But we had also saw earlier in the club, she had also been wrestling with her feelings about all this, because earlier in the episode we saw her, she was looking at the pictures even before. At the end of the episode, she was looking at the pictures. So it's been on her mind all day, basically. So at this point, Keyshawn is in trouble. She's in big trouble now.
First off, let me just say this. The Pynk is full of gangbangers and killers, steppers. Derek whooped your ass in season 1. One man beat your ass. You went and dispatched a whole stage full of gangbangers.
Well, he got a team now. He got a team.
You went but the stage when Keyshawn tucked her head and sat there, that was Diamond clearing that shit out.
Yeah. Well, he did have that big piece on him too, though. So
he had the AR.
That cleared the stage by itself. And I said, nigga, walking with a tool like that. Shoot.
He ain't use it though. He used them hands.
Yeah, that's true. He did use it. Use them hands.
I just want to see him get a rematch with Derek.
And you gonna see it next week. You can see it next week because Big Bone don't call down there. Big Bone don't call down to Derek new job. He told Derek, you better get down here and get your bitch because she finna run on your ass.
Right.
Big Bone was gonna drop a dime on her. Big Bone
Angelica,
drop a
that's
dime on her.
facts. Mississippi Glass through the air. Mercedes is just rough with it. Like,
you know what? I agree with that. I don't understand why she dances so aggressively. Like she's
like
all the time.
Yeah, like Mississippi, she's just like when she up there, it's just like, man, that sells itself. You just like, oh wow, man.
But we do know that Mercedes is capable of doing, you know, a sensual dance and, you know, a more softer version of the Mercedes experience. That's how she got Coach all mesmerized.
Yeah, I think she's doing like a bad B thing, you know, that like rock, you know, heart. I think that's what the whole look is. You know, that's supposed to be her whole thing. She's supposed to be like the baddest B.
Where was Big Body at when Keyshawn was kissing Diamond? Because I felt like they were behind.
She was on the stage and she saw them. They were kissing in the doorway to the back.
In the doorway. Oh, she saw him through the mirror. Okay.
Oh, the mirror. I thought she was at the booth. How did she even see that?
That's what I was trying to figure out. How did she even see them? Because she was in the DJ booth. But okay. All right. So she saw him through the mirror. That made sense. Little Murda is just turned. I need Little Murda to get his calm down, bro. I mean, you 100. You mad at these niggas for being mad at you for something that you actually did.
He's actually indignant. He's actually indignant with the fact that they're upset with the fact that they don't know for sure, but he knows he did it. And the thing about it is, he didn't do it for Teak. He didn't do it for Teak. He did it because he knows that Pico is always talking about the thing that he doesn't want discussed. And that was a selfish move. And far as I'm concerned, he's not been the same since. Like, again, this is a major, major stain on the Little Murda character because up until this point, I didn't see him as a killer. When he did this, even his rap was so much weaker than it was the first season. Like, it wasn't good. I don't know. I'm worried about Little Murda.
He's changing. And that's what we're seeing. And I think that part of it is revenge for Big Teak. And another part of it is because those OGs made a comment to him about it.
He was definitely gassed up by the OGs.
He was gassed up. Yeah, he was gassed up.
They put that battery in his back for damn sure.
Yep.
And they made it clear like you need to do it.
Yep.
The way they was talking to him is like, no, we're not going to send somebody to do it, or we're not going to do it ourselves. You go do it.
And Maine is desperately looking for confirmation. Like Maine is he's on the case.
That's fact, Xavier. He is called Little Murda for a reason. He is.
Yep. I didn't think it was a teardrop. I thought it was an ankh that he had tattooed.
It looks like an ankh to me too.
Yeah.
Nah, yeah, I think it is. I know he got like a dollar bill, and then
he got a dollar sign, and I thought the other one was an ankh. Is what I thought.
Yeah, I don't think he have a teardrop.
Uncle Clifford finds the pills that Big L and Duffy been stashing. How do y'all feel about that scene? Because I felt some kind of way about that. I feel like even though Uncle Clifford is right and has every right to be upset, but when he's flat out gave the order that I do not want drugs up in my club or whatever, but you know, I don't want to justify wrongdoing, but I felt like Big L answered that question for us back in season 1 when he first went to Duffy and asked to hold the weight. He was trying to help raise up money to help save the club. Right. So I was frustrated in the writing that didn't come back out in his defense to Uncle Clifford as to why he was holding the drugs.
Me too.
It wasn't that he was selling the drugs just to be pushing them. He was selling the drugs to try to help bring something to the table to try to help save the club.
And then to add to that, I don't like the fact that season 1, when they introduced the whole drugs, and then season 2, as Roulette saw them with the drugs and everything like that, all of a sudden, you got a big ass box of the oxy sitting in a back room for it to be kicked over.
Well, you know, they've been Shit, Duffy been bringing them drugs in about a truckload.
Right, but it
that
was
might have
just
been the
it
box
just
they
seemed
dropped
like
that night when they saw roulette. That must have been the box that they dropped that night.
right. It just seemed like it was just so it was lazy as hell to put that there. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That's the way why Clifford just couldn't find out, like catching their ass, bringing it out of the truck, or you know what I'm saying, something like that. You find it by Lil Murda basically letting you know, like, man, look, I cut Pico ass down and walked out, and then all of a sudden you find the drugs that Duffy and
Big
L is running. Come on, man. That was lazy ass writing.
I think
Well,
Big
the
L.
way I feel about it is this. I understand that he did it last year to try to save the Pynk, but why he's still doing it? Because he ain't giving Uncle Clifford any of the money because Uncle Clifford don't even know what's going on.
This
The
is
Pynk has been
facts.
saved. It's not like you're doing it now for your own personal reasons.
This
So
is
him
facts.
bringing it up to say, "Hey, I kept doing it to save the Pynk." Okay, fine. Well, where the money? Where my cut? Because you haven't.
Angelica, that's a good one. Angelica got a good point in the chat too. Maybe something happened with Clifford mom dealing drugs, maybe an overdose.
Damn, big facts.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Because
Or
you
I
can
mean,
tell he
it
has
could
a
be
very passionate feeling towards that. He's very.
And he even said everything is cool until your family get threatened, yada yada yada. You know, and maybe you know what?
Yep,
Maybe
he
that
did.
goes back to that scene. That might go back to that scene we saw with them passing the money. Maybe that was drugs. Maybe I don't know, but I also think back to the mafia where the mafia they didn't deal drugs in the beginning because it brings a different kind of heat. Like the charges are different. Like the government looks different. Like
in the
you know,
risk.
stealing and larceny is one thing, but when you start dealing with drugs, and it may be that may be part of it too. But the thing about his mom, that's real. Yeah, that's a good point.
That is a good
Well,
point.
we already know his great grandfather was shot shooting dice in the Pynk. We know that.
I think Big L's gonna be back. I think they're gonna work it out because, like Big L said, all I don't done for you, and you gonna fire me? Fuck you! I quit. I think Big L. I don't think we've seen the last of Big L. I think Big L is gonna be back. And then part of me feels like Big L is probably going to be in the background, kind of lurking a little bit. I feel like Big L gonna probably try to make a move on Autumn. For him to make that comment about, well, she can't sell the club if she's dead, like he was serious about that.
That was. I mean, it was just crazy. It was just crazy. Like
And
we've
that's
never
what got him
seen.
fired. That comment is what got him fired.
But everybody's been telling him that. His grandmama been saying that since the beginning. Like
True.
Everybody's been telling him to kill Autumn. That he ain't the first one.
True.
Right, facts.
And to be quite honest with you, I'm not so sure if we haven't seen Uncle Clifford wrestling with that idea himself.
Ernestine did say, "Why you ain't killed that high yellow bitch yet?" And did she?
Said it several times.
So it's ridiculous. I don't know. It's ridiculous. It's another one of those things. I don't know. Just like the voting has happened, and the next day, the next episode, we're gonna know who's the mayor. But there was no conversation about voting, really. Like we didn't
see no polls or see where they are running that in numbers.
They just brought it up and talked about it. You know, it's weird. It's a weird.
We just seen money guns and old geriatric lady twerking on the back of a damn hay truck.
Yeah, it's just another thing that makes me want to move. Like we've never seen this from Big L. First season, we didn't see Big L, you know, in all these different costumes and the pimp cane and hat clock to the side, you know, and we didn't see all that from Big L. Big L came across sort of like the quiet storm.
Yep.
You know, in this episode, I mean, in this season, it's been quite different. So that's another reason why I said, you know, I'm ready for this season to come to the crescendo. Let's see where all of this is kind of heading. And then maybe it'll make a little bit more sense for us. Because right now, there's some things I just don't understand.
I agree with that.
First, let me say shout out to the chat, man. Y'all got a lot of valid points that y'all brought across tonight. Like for real.
They always do. They be on point.
So shout out to y'all. Y'all be on point. But tonight, just man, y'all.
That's a good point, Xavier.
Like wow.
Well, you know what? A lot of that comes back to what I was saying at the beginning of the season. I think a lot of what we're seeing, Miss Honey, is the fact that they probably had to take a turn in a different direction in the writing mid-season while they were trying to get the season together because of what happened with Isaiah Washington's character. I think them having to pretty much rewrite a season that was already in production probably led to all these different ideas and all these different story arcs. I think that the story arcs would have been a little bit different how the season was probably previously written for season one. So I think what we're seeing here is them just kind of wrestling with different ideas and throwing things against the wall and see what sticks.
I'm surprised that he even gave them that, that opportunity for that exit with the reason why he say he was let go versus the reason why they say he was let go.
Right. Well, they also made it where they not only did they get rid of him, because they could have simply recast him like they did with Coach. They could have simply recast him, but the fact that they killed his character off,
right, put him in a casket and everything.
Yeah, and it's I don't know, maybe a lot of it was due to COVID, and a lot of people was unwilling to come back or didn't want to come back.
He was like the first. He was like the first legitimate death of Pynk from COVID.
Yeah,
of P Valley.
Yeah, he was dead in episode 1. He was dead.
He was dead when they got there.
Yeah, he was dead when they turned on the news. Because you see a lot of other characters, like the girl that was like since we're talking about that, I didn't understand the direction they went with Juniper, because when we saw Juniper, she was in a relationship with the chick that was working the bar, from Have and Have Nots. And all of a sudden now she's pregnant and don't have a baby. Where did that come from? And then we didn't see Monte come back. So I feel like maybe a lot of it was because a lot of the people that were in the original season just didn't come back, maybe due to COVID or whatever, or got booked in other opportunities. Because P Valley was season 1 was 15 years ago. So that 2-year wait time, maybe these people went and booked other work, and they just kind of had to rewrite some things and retweak some things. And for some reason the next scene with Little Murda and Mercedes felt odd to me, even though we've seen them in scenes together before, but it was so far down the line in season 1, it just felt odd to see them interacting with each other, because you typically see Little Murda interact with Keyshawn, and whenever he has his moments of realization or truth is usually shared with Keyshawn. So it was very interesting to see that him and Mercedes both had a moment of truth with each other. And she was still picking at him about his music being slow or whatever.
Right.
Maybe somebody said that they think that Mercedes is going to dance to Lil Murda's new song.
I said that.
I want to hear the song you wrote out.
I think I agree with that.
Yeah. And it's going to be the last dance, but it's going to be killer. It's going to be killer.
I think I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Lil Murda's next hit. Yeah. And it's going to be Mercedes' final dance finally.
It's going to be a viral dance for Mercedes. And I think right after she dances, all hell is going to break loose, and it's going to go off, and then we're going to be waiting on next season.
So you don't think that we get to see Keyshawn perform anymore in this episode? She's getting ready to gather her things in and try to get away.
Yeah, I think we saw Keyshawn's swan song with the
because we saw her leaving. Yeah, remember she said goodbye. She had her bag. Yeah, we saw her.
Oh, that's right. That's right. She was leaving. That's right. She was leaving when she wrote that message on the mirror. That's right.
And Uncle Clifford knew, but in the case of Big Body, she knew because she was listening. But as far as as far as Mercedes and Uncle Clifford, because even when Maine was saying she danced like it's her last dance, and Mercedes was like, I think it is. And Uncle Clifford was like, so you was going to leave and not say goodbye? I think that's how they know each other. They just felt, they knew, they felt something, what's understood doesn't have to be said. You know what I mean?
I do too. And I'm trying to figure that out too,
Jonathan. I think Derek gonna die in the pit.
Either Derek is gonna be waiting at that house, that sister house for her, or he gonna go get them kids, or he gonna show up.
Derek gonna die in the pink.
Or he gonna show up in the parking lot or something at that club. Derek is somewhere lurking right now.
Mm-hmm.
And because Big Body don't call and told him what's up, he gonna be there. So he may confront her in the parking lot, or the confrontation may be at the sister's house, or the confrontation may even work because I don't think she planned on going home. She didn't plan on going home because she was going to go get the kids and then skirt on up out of there. But no, but in the trailer for next week, we see her meet with Little Murda like the next morning to say goodbye, and then she gets her car. So where does he intercept her at?
I think he's gonna intercept at the Pynk.
He might be in the car. But listen, I gotta go, you guys. I gotta go to my dinner appointment. Really, have a safe trip. Enjoy yourself. Have fun.
Thank you.
Bye,
I'll see you guys later. Take good care.
Bye,
see you, chat.
See you later.
I don't know. I just because in the trailer for next week, it seems like it's the next day.
It is.
Something is going to happen that's going to have all of them go back to the Pynk. It has to happen at the Pynk.
That's what I was thinking too. It has to happen.
She's coming back. Something is going to happen for her to come back. I don't know what. Somebody's going to tell her something. She's going to get a message. Something. I think she gets away. I think everything works out the way it's supposed to work out. She, like you said, we see her get in the car. She got the kids. She said goodbye to Murda. But something happens at the Pynk and she goes back. That's my opinion.
Who is this chick that's pregnant? That's egging up. That's gaslighting.
That's Pico's baby mama.
That's Pico's baby mama.
Okay. I was trying to figure out why she was so turned. What she was so turned about. So that's who she is. I missed that. I totally missed that part.
But what I don't understand.
Yeah, well, she said it though. She said the motherfucker put 30 in his chest. Who does that?
But that's what I don't understand. Why is Little Murda automatically
the suspect? Yeah.
Because Teak was this guy.
But Teak was in the. It could have been anybody from the gang. Like
it could have been any one of them. Yeah.
So
but then you know what though? It could have been that too as well. But remember, in season 1, Lil Murda whooped Pico's ass. So they've been beefing for a minute now.
And Pico was part of the gang. He was part of Hurtville Hustlers. He left them and joined Maine's gang.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had issues with that too, really, especially when Maine was so turned and convinced. Because even when the other guy was like, "Well, he ain't claiming it," so he's like, "No, it was him. It was him." I think the reason why they come to that conclusion is just like what you're saying, Jug, is that because everybody know that him and Pico had conflict before, so it's natural to assume that he was the one who killed them. Yeah. So Big Bone, big body, full body is on her bike, and she's looking at pictures of her and Diamond on her phone. We get to the picture of her holding a ring. She's in the process of sending that message.
I don't think she sent them.
She did.
She did. Because at first, you know how it is on your phone. They show you looking at the picture. They also showed it where it was sending, like it was transmitting. She sent that picture to someone.
I'm gonna go back and watch that. I don't think I don't think she sent it.
She did.
I think she planned to, but she didn't.
Nah.
But the mere fact that she had them in her phone goes back to what Really was saying earlier. I absolutely wholeheartedly agree that she would sit there to gather information. She had been gathering the information, but hadn't done the final part of it, and that was send the information. Because she had caught feelings for Diamond, so she was sleeping on that. She was holding that information for a rainy day, and this is the rainy day. Yeah, she sent the picture.
Yep.
Because they showed it where she hit send.
Yep. That's what I'm saying. She sent it, and that's they coming back. Maybe that's the
hell has no fury.
So do you think that they show up next week? Do you think that the gang shows up next week? So we have a third element now that's going to pull the club up?
Yep.
Because Montavious did warn them. He did warn Haley that they're going to come looking for me and they're going to burn this club down. So guess what? Maybe it's a Players Club situation for real. Maybe they burn the club down. Maybe maybe no one gets to sell the club because there is no club.
Could go back to what Autumn said. Autumn said, I'm either going to leave here and I'm going to be fucking rich, or I'm going to stay here and I'm going to be the dumbest. I'm going to be a dumb bitch. Remember she said that.
Maybe there's no club left at all. Maybe the gang come through and they fuck shit up.
And that might be the reason why she's so intent on leaving, because she does feel like eventually Monte, they're gonna come looking
They're
for
gonna catch up to her. That's
Yeah.
why she's trying to get the money and run. Right, I agree with that. I think that's because we've seen her in high pursuit of getting this money, like quick, fast, in a hurry, and she's ran out of time. And I feel like that goes back to last week's episode. She should have took Georgie's last offer of that $5 million.
$5 million, yeah.
Because she didn't take that $5 million, you get nothing now.
Which goes back to her comment when she said, "I'm either gonna leave rich or I'm just gonna be dumb." So ultimately,
think about it. COVID is probably really the only reason why she's still there. Like her plan, like she told Mr. Uncle Clifford, she said, my plan was to always sell. Like y'all, I spent up all my money saving the club. So A plan, I had to come up with a plan B. This was always my plan B.
And not only that, did she spend all her money on that, but then she took whatever little bit she did have and gave to Mercedes for that dance gym. Yep. So she's trying to recoup. She's trying to recover her funds and get out of town. But I think with her being with child now, she may be unwilling to run now. She may want to take up a life with Andre now. Depending on, I think it's going to be a messy divorce. This could end up affecting him being mayor. Or this could have. Well, I think he's already won. I think he's already won at this point.
He definitely won. I think
I think the wife is going to be a bit of a problem for him, for them. I think the wife is not going to go quietly.
Xavier, I ain't never. What that mean? Ask really be about dating a gang member, sir? Excuse you?
Huh? Oh, this is something I don't even know about.
In other news,
there's nothing to tell. I don't know what he's talking about. That's what I'm saying.
In other news, oh wow.
Jonathan, I don't know what not Jonathan, Xavier, I don't know what he's talking about.
Since you out here dating gangbangers?
That's consequences of dating a gang member. Just ask Really BTV. That is true. That is consequence. I mean, she mad, but when you're mad in her life and you keep laying down with him, making and that's another reason why I also feel like Mercedes probably didn't sleep with Maine. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, she know that he a street dude, and that you ain't gonna have no happy ever after life with no street dude.
But like she said, I'm looking for something different. Like, I'm looking for something different now.
So that's true. Even if Andre does win this race, he's got a whole bunch of threats
to deal with.
Yeah, because you're gonna have to deal with Wayne, and you're gonna have to deal with Pastor Woodbine. And then you're gonna have to deal with all this drama that getting ready to come with your baby mama. Your baby mama gonna bring problems for you to deal with. So but I really want to see them take Andre's character to another level. I don't like this. I don't like the way he's written. He's written as very weak. He's written where he can't really make decisions for himself. It seems like everything that he's done so far has been influenced, whether strongly or subtly, by Autumn.
That's facts. Authentically Young. She did give him a $10,000 check.
But I just feel like that
got a little bag on her. She probably still scamming.
No, I think that's that money that we seen her deposit last season in that bank account when she deposited that $20,000 into that bank account that we never seen her spend. We never see her spent that money when she went down there to the bank and she had a trash bag full of money. Yeah, she had washed in the tub with a looker. I think that's that money. That's where that money came from. Because I was curious about where she got $10,000 from too. Because she's crying broke now. But I think that was that money that was left over when them telecheck scams that she was depositing.
Broke. She just telling Uncle Clifford, if we keep spending money the way we've been spending money, we are gonna be broke.
Right.
But I bet not hear Uncle Clifford say nothing about money. He just got $250,000 to whoop somebody's ass. I mean,
yeah, he got a bag.
That money went to the Pynk or Uncle Clifford's cash out. I'll be like, Corbin, write that out to Clifford sales, please. Write that out to Clifford sales. Let me get this.
Did it go to his cash?
I'll say this: if he was still like running the Pynk and him and Haley were in a good standing, I would say he put it in the Pynk. But because of things all the way they are between him and Haley, nah, he kept that.
But what was I feel like there was a nugget in that when he made that comment. How much did Haley buy the club for? He said $250. He says, "Well, what is that money for? What do you think that he can use that money towards?" Because it's not going to be nowhere near enough to buy Haley out. So, what is the significance about the $250?
I think because remember they fell out. The reason why they fell out is because Uncle Clifford felt like Corbin had backstabbed him when it came to buying the Pynk. So he was like, okay, you lost the Pynk and you blame me for it, or I'm part of the reason. How much did she buy the club for? What do you feel like?
And that's what she said.
I owe you for our
right. That's what Clifford said. 250,000.
Yeah.
Right.
What do you feel like I owe you for our friendship to get back what we need to get back?
That's what the payment was for. Okay, got it. That makes sense. Got it. Understood. All right. Well, overall, I think it was a very great episode. I really like the fact that it was to be continued. So we're not going to get a new episode per se. Well, we're going to get a new episode, but it's going to be a continuation. It's going to be. I feel like most of the episodes are a continuation from the previous one. So I don't know what was so special about this one, but I guess it's going to literally pick up from the like somebody was saying earlier. I don't think that the club is going to shut down for the night. I think they're going to still keep performing, because we have to keep the club open for the other conflict to come to us. So I think they're going to put them gang members out, reset the floor, and start back up again.
Miss Heron, yeah, she did have to pay those fines, which was like $25,000.
But the club has been making money since they've been open back the few times that they've been open. So the club did make some money. You know, it wasn't nearly enough, but so I mean, she probably has made a couple of bags off of the little time that they have been open.
Right. Really, B?
Yeah.
What the lipstick looking like?
I don't even have no lipstick on right now. I've been working while I've been on live. I don't even have nothing on right now.
Well, CG,
I ain't got no fucking lipstick on.
No, you got the laces, fool. What are you talking about?
I know. I just feel like being facetious. Take a guess.
Altitude 13s.
Oh, that's a good one, but nope.
Damn. Really?
Nope.
Damn.
Oldie but goodie.
Indigos.
Yeah, the Indigos. Yep.
The fact that y'all can just roll that shit off your tongue, it just amazes me.
Yeah. Yep. Match the shirt.
Yeah, well, you want to take a stab at this one?
You got on a gray shirt. It could be anything.
I know. Well, I know what it's not because I see it in the background. Hold on a minute. Let me think for a second.
You need me to move? Which way?
Oh, Lord. There they go.
Here, I help you out. I'll throw you a hint.
Throw
you a hint. It's actually a low top. It's not a high top. It's not a high top today.
Oh, I know what it is. It is the Georgetown Dunks.
Oh, no, but it is low top.
Oh, the neutral gray.
Gray OG.
Okay. Okay, nice.
Oh.
Nice. Scent for today doesn't necessarily match the outfit, but Dior cologne today is the
okay.
scent.
Okay, all right.
So this was
Ridiculous.
a great episode again. I'm kind of sad that the season is coming to an end, but at least we get Power Book 3, so we'll be back here for Power Book 3. That's our favorite
14.
power. So I can't wait. I think it starts on August the 14th.
Yeah, the 14th.
14th.
The 14th, and everybody and anybody that's a Game of Thrones fan, House of Dragons start August 21st. So I'm trying to push these people to see it.
These people.
I watch.
See, this is Game of Thrones, bro. So you gotta watch it.
Yeah, I watch Game of Thrones. What are you talking about?
Game of Thrones, that shit.
I'm definitely
You pushing Game of Thrones. Jack of Joys is pushing Snowfall.
Man. We need to start the SOA review too.
Yeah, and we still got to get Top Boy done. I mean, we never started on it. I mean, there's a lot of things that we got to get done. So we got work to do. We got a lot of work to do. But I guess we'll have to get started on some of that when Really B gets back from her international vacation.
Y'all don't have to wait on me. Y'all do not have to wait on me.
That was just for me using the opportunity to announce the fact that you're going out of the country yet again.
Not yet again. I haven't been out of the country in 2 years.
He said he team Targaryen.
Yeah, she going to out of the country
all,
without me.
I haven't been out of the country in 2 years, so don't do that.
Yeah, you know, every other month, by every 3 months or so, you get on an international flight. You're going through customs.
You just lying for no reason.
Well, I wish that you have a safe trip and an enjoyable trip, and bring you something back nice and
Safe travel, sis.
safe travels, and don't try to smuggle anything through customs.
Nah, I ain't trying to do that. That's the man.
Please don't.
I hope your customs experience was way better than mine coming back, because I'm about to get that global entry. I'm signing up for it this week, as a matter of fact, because I am not gonna stand on that long ass line.
Let me know what that let me know what them details is like, because I got to sign the fam up for that.
Yeah, I'm finna do the global entry because I can't. Man, I stayed on that line for about an hour and a half.
Because when we went to Cancun, we had that and when you going through Mexico, they had you do that tourist card.
Yeah.
Ooh, we stood right before customs, waiting for the United to come back with more cards for us to fill out for everybody. Yeah. So we can go back through.
No, we did a e-ticket online for DR going and coming, but it was coming back like when we got back to Atlanta. You know, we flew into the international terminal. Yeah, and going back through. But first of all, it was the walk from the gate to the part where they let you back into customs. The line was just so long, and they were receiving like the foreign and the residents at the same time. It was
y'all went through Hartsfield, right?
Yeah, it was a cluster. It was just a cluster. Global entry is the move. All right, guys. Well, we will talk next week.
Xavier said, "Fuck Jon Snow."
Oh, so he'll be putting up in the comments about that. I can't get into Snowfall. I can't. I've tried.
No, Jon Snow is from
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. I've never watched that episode.
He was the bastard child from Night's Watch. He was a killer though, bro.
What season are they on right now? Because I'll probably go.
This is actually the backstory to what's her name? Khaleesi.
Well, how many seasons?
Which was the mother of dragons.
How many
seasons it was of the original?
I want to think it was like maybe 10.
Oh shit!
I don't think it was that many. Was it?
I need the Cliff Note version.
I know it was about 6 or 7.
I need a Cliff Note version. Then I ain't gonna never be able to catch up.
Wait till you watch it.
You only get like 10 episodes.
Oh, okay.
Xavier said 8 seasons.
8 seasons. Okay.
Yeah.
You said it's on HBO.
You only get like 10 episodes.
Yeah, HBO.
Has anyone watched the new off-brand? I can't even remember what the name of the show is, but you know, it has a majority of the cast from The Wire in it. What was the name of it?
No, but I have it on my list because I do want to watch it.
I haven't watched it either. It's on HBO
it's
too,
called
right?
This City or We Run This City or something like
We Run
that.
This City. That's it. Has anybody in the comments watched that? Yeah, We Run This City.
I haven't started watching it yet, so maybe there's something we can watch. We can all watch it start at the same time too.
All right, well, we need to go ahead and get that lined up. I need to go ahead and get me a subscription for HBO then, because I dropped that many years ago after The Wire went off. So I need to find something noteworthy to watch on it. All right, guys. Well, we'll be back next week. And
I won't.
Well, you won't, but you know the rest of us will. We'll have to do it without you.
I'm gonna have to stay off the internet because I don't want to see no spoilers.
Well, the crazy part about it is when I was in DR, I don't know how it is going to be for you in France. But when I was in DR, I couldn't even watch it. I couldn't even watch the episode because Stars didn't have like international, like I couldn't watch it in that country. That was crazy. But we'll be back.
All right.
All right. See y'all.
Bye.